Reflect for a moment on the art of cinema. Think of a motion picture like The Last Emperor and the 9 Academy Awards it so richly deserved. Consider the profound emotional experience of a truly great film. Then forget it, sweetheart.
You're gonna see the biggest piece of shattering entertainment that ever molested your sensibilities.
Yo, how's it all going?
And we are back again for another live stream for this Saturday. How are you guys doing?
Yes. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope I can read the comments on this because, as you can see, I am not in my usual haunt. I am sat in my conservatory on a nice comfy couch, and I am streaming this off my phone, and fuck only knows if this is working. So,
gentlemen, you know he's lying like hell. He broke into some random stranger's house in fucking UK and was just like, "I'm gonna squat in your house for internet reception."
This shit lose comfort. Let's get on it.
Yeah.
Like I say, anybody can just drop us a comment in the comment section. Just drop us a message just to see if this shit's working. As long as I can see it, I can see people's in the stream, so something must be fucking happening.
But I see it on my side every 2 minutes, so I'll give you a heads up on it.
Yeah, cool, man. Like I say, if you see me looking away as well as I've got it on the big screen so I can read the shit instead of on the tiny phone. So I'm just mirroring it to my TV as well. So hopefully this goes okay. If it doesn't and it all turns to shit, then I'm going to have to fucking run upstairs and quickly turn everything on. But it's...
so hold on right quick. This shit just went bad.
Yeah.
Let me go upstairs. What do you mean? He's going to go down the street because, like I said, he broke into some random stranger's house. He's probably like 2 blocks away. We give Anthony like 15 minutes to get back to his house.
It's to be fair, it's a lot more comfier. I can lounge in different positions. You know what I mean? It's fucking great.
Dude, after you drink 2 or 3 of those of what the fuck you're drinking, you're gonna need to fall asleep in that where you're sitting.
Well, Newcastle Brown Ale. Like I've just said to Johnny, it'll put hairs on your grandma's nipples. It's fucking lethal. It's an acquired taste, but you know what I mean? It is nice. It is nice. It is working. Future boy. Let's see fucking what happens if I tap it. There we go. It works. It's working. The audio is a bit of a downgrade from the last stream. It is, mate. I'm using a crappy old fucking headset thing. So my actual mic's not on properly because I've no way setting up onto my phone. So we'll muddle through for this week, and then we'll be back to normal for. Oh well, I won't be back to normal for next week. Here's Holland Auto. Is it going to Holland Man? What is going on, Anthony and Johnny? So much for room activities. The fucking is, mate. There's loads. You know what I mean? There's just different lounging positions constantly. It's fucking comfy. I could sit here all night with this shit. So the chance there at the end of the month when we do a live stream, which we do a watch along, the chance there it's going to be from this very fucking position. So
there you go. Hey, it looks fucking cozy and comfortable, man. Go with it, man. I mean, how hard would it be to, man? You could probably just bring your microphone and hook it up to your fucking phone. You could probably find a piece to make it compatible to hook right into your phone for all we know. So
there must be something out there. Again, if anybody knows about this shit, drop it in the comments. I would imagine it'll have to be some kind of USB-C to USB converter. It'd have to be something like that, I would suppose. But
yeah. Speaking of those right there, I think you're talking about one of these gadgets right there. Well, if you use iPhone, it's basically the fucking same. But if it's an Android, you know they damn well they make something else for it too. But I think Hall & Oates is a fan of your beer right there that you're drinking as well.
Yeah, man. Oh, I missed that one. Popped up because it's good beer. Enjoy it. It is, man. It's brilliant. Again, if it's ice cold, it's fantastic. If it's warm, it's like drinking fucking cold tea. It's fucking horrible when it's warm, but when it's ice cold, it's great. Well, you know when it's at the right temperature to drink because that little blue stir on the back there, it turns bright blue, and when it goes dark blue, that means it's too warm to drink. So you have to stick it back in the fridge.
There you go. You know, I've heard a myth now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard that beer is just so tasty and it's so great that if your dog has fleas, you could pour that bottle of beer on your dog and it kills the fleas like that.
Oh yeah, it's killed my fucking brain cells over the years, so it's definitely going to work on fleas.
Nice. That's a big size fucking bottle too. Was that like a 20?
It's
like
a pint.
24. 16.
So. I've fucking no idea in ounces, mate. It's 550 mils, whatever the fuck that is in ounces. So it's a pint in the UK. It's a pint bottle.
Gotcha. Well, we know 750 is a fifth, so you're close.
Yeah. Video Gizmo, is it going, man? We okay? Cancer hated Ebola in my body. That means I'm home. But the film festival in the Netherlands. Nice shirt, Johnny. One of my favourite films. Yeah, it's a cool shirt, that man.
Hey,
is it a long sleeve shirt, that?
Yeah. And then, man, like they decked the slaves on this too. I'm trying to think, man. I got asked this before, man. I'm not sure if that's Cavity Colors, Gutter Garbs, or Fright Rags, or Terror Threads. Like fucking, you know, my wife orders from like 8 different fucking companies, man. So always got these people shit coming to my house. I literally now at this point after the Fright Rag sale, I think all in total, I think I have like probably 42 different horror hoodies I bought just in the last couple months. So I was telling Zoe, I'm like, we keep going at this rate, I'll have a hoodie for each day of fucking winter coming up. So I'll be straight. She's like, I think she's on a mission. I think that's exactly what she's going to do. But I was watching a stream the other night and Gizmo right there was talking about that he was going, dude, I'm telling you, man, that guy's got an awesome job. He works with a ton of fucking talented people. But I do know that he was talking about going to the film festival, and I think he said it was coming up month. I was trying to think of the name he threw out there though, and I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, wait a minute, like where have I heard that fucking name before? It turns out it's like a fucking director that I actually own a couple different movies from, and I'm trying to think of his name right now, but it's been a couple of days, man. And, you know my brain cells are fucking shot at this point, being Saturday. So, but refresh my memory on that, man. I was thinking of it the other night, and I was like, fuck, man, what movie was that I just watched with that director too? But yeah, man, he's got a fucking dream job though. From what he told me before, it sounds like he travels all around, man, like in search of all kinds of different props to work for different studios and shit like that. Like, he's got the job, man. He's right there on the location with all these talented fucking people, man. So got a dream job. I'm jealous, man. I look at a computer,
yeah, man,
fucking living in it. Makes me want to commit suicide, and you're just having fun.
Yeah. I mean, if he's just at a film festival in the Netherlands, I mean, is he in Europe somewhere? Is he from Europe, or is he Scandinavian, or is he?
He'll fill us in, man.
I'm not sure where he's from, but he's obviously not that far away from me if he's been to the Netherlands.
Yeah, and I assure you, man, because he's the same guy that sent me, you know, the big vinyl looking thing that had the Blu-rays in it. The movie I got right here, and plus a few others. Yep. And man, like I try to tell the wife, I'm like, we're gonna save the Christmas horror title that he sent me off until Christmas, and I don't think it's gonna happen. I think we're probably gonna end up watching that like probably here in just a few weeks. So I just every time I pick it up, look at the cover, I'm like, fuck, let's just go watch this. Like the anticipation is just killing me. Like my curiosity is fucking full blown at this point. So, but it sent me a bunch of cool shit, man. So I can't wait to dig into it, man. Just so much time in the day. Yeah, it goes.
Yeah, man. I mean, the one he sent you with the album sized Blu-ray one. I mean, dude, that is fucking brilliant.
Do you notice how I just simply just reached over because I had it right here? I was like, yeah, that one.
It's fucking cool, man. The artwork on that's great. Those like releases like that, I think, are fantastic. We had quite a number of them in the UK, like I think I've told you before, but they just didn't seem to do anything. But I really like them. You know what I mean? It allows that artwork to be seen in a bigger format.
Like we said before, cool, having the space to display those or have a variety of those in your collection. Yeah. Space is probably the biggest thing that probably set them back. So. It is.
It's a commitment collecting that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like collecting vinyl. I've got a lot of vinyl, but man, it takes up fucking space. You know what I mean?
You got in your room right now? I got like fucking 4 of them over there.
That's what I mean. And like the other thing I was buying, because I collect 7-inch single more than I do 12-inch albums. I've got these sort of like wooden boxes that just stack. You can get like 57 inches in it. They're everywhere. You know what I mean? It's difficult collecting vinyl. It really is. So to collect that kind of stuff. Yeah,
the 7-inch makes it even more complicated because then you got to find something that's actually going to stand them up properly where you can thumb through them, as opposed to picking up a stack of them and going through them like a fucking set of baseball cards.
Yeah. Olin says that this beer is more like a 19.2. So that's what that 19 ounces. Is that 19 ounces? 19 ounces?
Oh. I thought he meant like by percentage. I was about to say that's like a brandy.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, that's like fucking fortified wine. Fucking hellfire. There won't be much this. If that was fucking 19.2%, it's a big good night Vienna now. You know what I mean? It's this shit's 4.7%.
Okay.
But it must be 9.2 ounces. I mean, so a pint. Yeah. Olin says Gizmo's from Norway. Cool. So Scandinavian. Brilliant. Nice one. Yep. Dirk, my man, what's happening? How's it going, Dirk?
What's up, brother?
Okay, mate? That looks like motor oil. Fucking mate, when it's warm, it tastes like it. Honestly,
that's fucking 10W40 right there, baby.
It's tasty shit. It is really, really nice, but don't let it get warm. It's fucking horrible when it's warm.
That's the non-synthetic oil that you put in a car that has over 200,000 fucking miles on it.
All that the shit you put in my scooters. Put two-stroke in the scooters that I ride. Two-stroke probably tastes like that as well.
Well, hopefully, man, it'll alleviate some of the back pain that you have, man. But when you lean on that, because you know my story, when you lean on that constantly, anything constantly to alleviate whatever it is, whatever problem you have, that becomes a problem in its fucking self.
Yeah,
so, a bad one too. So, but yeah,
yeah,
that shit doesn't get no better, man. You know you're gonna have to go to the doctor, right?
I tell you, man, I've been to the doctors with it. UK doctors do not give a fuck about bad backs. They couldn't give a fucking royal monkeys. So I've been to see a chiropractor over the last couple of years, and he seems to keep it in check. The condition I've got is it's a birth defect. It's been there since birth, but only raised its head the older I've got. So I'm fucking stuck with it now. There ain't much they can fucking do with it. So
yeah, but tramadol is not going to fucking save you for the rest of your life. That's like a supercharged Tylenol at best, man. Like that's nothing. Like
yeah,
especially when you're in bad pain, that doesn't do shit.
Yeah, I mean they won't give you tramadol as a rule in the UK. It's like a last resort kind of thing. Tramadol, they really don't like dishing it out.
It's like one of the most pathetic excuses they have for pain medication too. You could probably eat fucking 6 of those, and you'd probably be lucky if it alleviated all your pain for you. It's not like you're going to get high off of it. That's for sure.
I think what tramadol does is make you forget about shit. It doesn't mask any pain, doesn't do anything. Just makes you forget shit. Because when it was really bad, I took a fucking load of tramadol and other painkillers, and I was sat down on a dining room chair in front of the TV because it's the only thing I could sit on. And have you seen the Netflix show? It's a Jim Henson show, Dark Crystal.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah, so the TV show that was put on Netflix, man, I got hooked on that shit by being off my nut on tramadol. It was unfucking unreal. The colours, the sounds, everything. And I was sat for like 3 hours in like a bolt upright position, just full of pain meds, just going, this is the fucking best thing ever. You know what I mean? Just
I feel like before we started this conversation, we should definitely advocate that we do not condone the use of abusing prescription medications with alcohol.
Nothing. No, don't do it. It's stupid.
Don't. Wind up fucking dead, or have a really bad addiction that's probably a nightmare to try to get off of. So, wouldn't go that route. But yeah, man, hey, at least it works for you though, man. I mean, you're talking to a guy right here who had various discs like cut out of his back. They sent me home with a bottle of fucking oxycodone, and so I'm sitting there and I'm taking one of those every 4 hours. Well, you get kind of a tolerance to it, and you go, well, I got to find something else because now this is getting a little weak. So what I found to do is pour Jack and Coke and sip on a Jack and Coke right when you take it.
Yeah.
The one thing you shouldn't do is mix alcohol with like a really high concentrated opioid. So
not at all, but it works.
Yeah, nobody do that though. That's horrible thinking.
Yeah. Duke saying hello to Holland. Gizmo, I must have missed a comment somewhere. I stopped watching them.
What's you talking about? You talking about the Dark Crystal series that was on Netflix?
Possibly. It's a really good show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like the original film, so I think what they did with the show is pretty much spot on. You know what I mean? To where the film left off.
Yeah, your whole house is pretty much a really, like, your wife and your daughter's like really big fans of that. Your fucking house is decorated in it, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. The living room's like a shrine to Henson.
Nice.
I'm obsessed with the Muppets. My wife and my daughter are obsessed with Labyrinth. My daughter's got an amazing tattoo on her arm of David Bowie as the Goblin King. It's fucking amazing. It's like brilliant. It's a big Jim Henson house. This, so anything Henson wise, we're all over it.
Hell yeah.
Cody says, how's it going, fellas? Too bad Dark Crystal never got another season. It is, mate. It is. Because what they did with it for a TV show was fantastic. It was really good. Really enjoyed it.
I'll have to check it out, man. I've never seen the actual Netflix TV show you're talking about. Of course, Dark Crystal, the film, and like Labyrinth, of course, man. I fucking own those. Those are great films. I never saw the season though of Dark Crystal.
Yeah, it's good, mate. Extremely good. One of the better things that Netflix has done. Obviously with help from the Henson Company, but fantastic show. Fantastic. Right, dude. As the title of this stream suggests, we're going to have a bit of a collection overview of the shit we've got of post-apocalyptic themed films. And it sort of goes from the sublime to the ridiculous, from the good to the bad, from the expensive to the fucking budget. And I think I've got a lot of it. You know what I mean? There's shitloads sat aside of me here. So we'll way through these. They're in no particular order. You know what I mean? This is nothing. There's no top tens. There's no nothing. I love this shit probably equally, even the good stuff and the bad stuff. You know what I mean? It's one of those sort of genres where either it'll get a sublime release or an absolute chronic release. There's no down the middle of the road with this stuff. It's either fucking excellent fucking limited edition shit or shit fucking DVD quality stuff, and I've got it all. So we'll start wading through some of it. I'll just finish some of this chat off because there's more coming in. Gizmo says, if you're going to watch the films I made Johnny, start with Hussit, The House, Winter Siege, or whatever they call it in the UK.
Yeah. Gotcha. Absolutely, man.
There's my daughter right now. Thanks for the shout out.
Nice.
Hope
you're doing good, Lauren.
Yeah, I mean, the guy who's Lauren's tattooist and who's my tattooist, Dean, he drops in these live streams from time to time. So anybody that's wanted to see Dean's art, if you go to Instagram and have a look for DAR art, you'll see my tattoos and Lauren's tattoos on there, plus a plethora of other shit he's done. The guy's a talented dude. And anything film related, you know what I mean? He's up for tattooing it. I mean, I'm back in first week in October, last week in October for the my Friday the 13th sleeve. So he's adding more to all that, finishing all that off, so that'll be done.
I told this story before, but the last tattoo I think that you got, and it was a tattoo I got not too long ago. You had hit me up one day and you were like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm sitting in a tattoo chair right now, getting a tattoo." And you're like, "Dude, like what the fuck? I am too." Like, holy shit, what? That's a coincidence. And you're getting like that badass fucking Friday 13th. Go ahead and show it.
Was that one or was it that one?
No, that one. So you're getting the badass fucking hockey mask done up and all that shit, and you're like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna send you a photo right quick of what he's got done so far." So you sent me yours, and then you were like, "Hey, like, let me see what you're getting done." And of course, I'm getting like this fucking pussy ass shit, like compared to your Friday the 13th tattoo. You're like, "Dude, what the fuck is going on?"
Nice.
I'm like, get like a fucking Leatherface tattoo or something. Like, nah, it's an anniversary tattoo.
Hey, it's whatever it takes, man, isn't it? It's the thing is with tattooing, once you start, it's an addiction. You can just carry on and carry on and carry on. You know what I mean? Obviously, Dino, I've just been talking about. He's done that. You know, he's done that Ghostbusters one.
Yeah, man. God, man, that looks fucking killer.
I mean, all of it right top. He's a dude as well. You know what I mean? He's into all the same shit as we are. So that isn't really finished yet. There's more to be added to that. Fucking greens and all kinds of colours. But yeah, Dirk says, yeah, my addiction was like being locked in a cage with a 800-pound, hold on a minute, gorilla.
Oh.
Yeah, man, it isn't good. It isn't good, dude. I know.
He definitely went up a road, man, before in his past life, man. That was challenging for him. But look at him now, man. Fucking dude has his own business, man. Fucking family's thriving, and he's got all of his shit in order, man. So there you go, man. That's the attitude to have right there. Yeah, man. It shows you can come through the other side, some positivity with it, and that, you know what I mean. It's I know lads that have gone astray and never come back from it. And it's a shame. So, man, if you can come through the other side, fucking hats off, man. There's your perfect example of it right there, too, man. Because that dude right there, he's a fucking tank, man. It takes a lot of strength and perseverance to come through some shit like that. So, definitely. I admire him, man. 100%. Gizmo says, you want to see strange apocalyptic movies ever? Watch Aftermath 2. Aftermath 2 is fucking nuts. I can't think of the guy's name. He was like an actor who wasn't an actor. He was a dude with money that wanted to make films. And it's fucking terrible. Was there an Aftermath 1? Or is this just yeah, I think there is an Aftermath. But Aftermath 2, I think that was the worst one of the two. Okay. But I think if memory serves me, he's just some dude who had money who just wanted to make a film. That's all he wanted to. There's Brad, category 3 and me. How's it going, dude? What's up, guys? Let's get it on. Definitely will, mate. Oh no, saying stay puffed. He certainly is, mate. I mean, I like the cool thing that he did because I can't really get into fucking camera. He put the angry face on him. He didn't put the smiley face on him. He put the pissed off, annoyed face on him. Oh, that was cool. Fuck yeah, it is, man. That's the shit. Dirk says that Friday 13th hockey tack sick, Anthony. Cheers, man. Well, it's going bigger, mate. It's going half arm, so from shoulder to elbow. And it's going 7 versions of Jason.
So there's going to be 7 versions of Jason going around the one hockey mask, but he's going to shade it all in to blend it all together. So that's fucking 12 hours of pain I'm never going to get back.
Yeah, that's a lot of time in that fucking chair right there.
Fucking right.
7? Fuck.
Yeah, so
it's a cool idea. It's fucking be great when you get it done.
Yeah, dude. I'm lying if I'm going to say I'm looking forward to get it fucking done. You know what I mean? I am, and I'm not, because I know what's fucking coming. You know what I mean? It's just pain. It fucking wrecks. Gizmo says Rob Van Eyck made Aftermath 1 and 2, not Aftermath. Oh, there's different movie. Oh, I'm onto a completely down the wrong fucking rabbit hole then with that one.
Tell you what, man, I was thinking about too. Fucking speaking of tattoos, man, Cody was actually sending me pictures of his fucking tats he has on his arm. His fucking kid's got like sleeves, but he's got John Carpenter's fucking the thing, like the theatrical poster, you know, with like the light coming out of the hoodie.
Yeah,
the snow jacket. So he has that right there, and he has like this 35 millimeter film canister that's been unraveled, and you actually see the film cells like as a ribbon going up around his arm.
wrapping around his arm.
And then he's got like the fucking female scorpion prisoner tattoo that's up above it. And when I saw that tattoo, I remember seeing like the box of it, like the Arrow video box that I missed out a long time ago. And, like I saw that he had that tattoo. I'm like, okay, that fucking kid has a fucking tattoo of this shit for a reason. Like it must kick fucking ass. So luckily, I was like able to check out that box set and finally get my hands on the original limited edition Arrow that released it. Now they got a re-release without the book in it.
Yeah.
I chased it down, and it's still a box set like I haven't even got into yet with him. I'm like, every time I see it on the shelf, I'm like, when the fuck are we ever going to get in this box? But he has some fucking great looking tattoos though, man. Great looking shit.
Yeah, man, it's an endless pursuit. You know what I mean? Once you start and you get the feel for it, and you know what's coming, then it's easier to deal with. So then it just becomes a fucking hobby. Being tattooed becomes a hobby. It's crazy. You know what I mean?
I learned a very important rule, even though I'd heard the myth about it. But I learned that going to get a tattoo while you've had a very long session of drinking is not the best idea.
No,
fucking. When you're getting that shit, man, and you just keep bleeding, and they can't never blotch the ink right. It just runs like crazy, and the tattoo artist is looking at you like, Jesus Christ, like how much did you fucking drink before you walked in the door?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it doesn't work at all. It just fucking bleed like a stuffed pig. You know what I mean? It doesn't work. Bottles of water is the best thing. Bottles of water and chocolate bars while you're in there. Just keep your glucose going through, keep your fluid levels up, and you'll be all right. You know what I mean? I'm all right to about the 4 hour period. After 4 hours, I'm getting twitchy. I got into the 6th hour with this one, and I was like, dude, just hurry the fuck up. It's killing me. You know what I mean? It's like, it's fucking hell. Just finish up already. You know what I mean? It's Crushers Moves and Games. How you all going? How's it going, Crusher man? I hope you're okay.
What's up, brother?
Duke says, thank guys, appreciate it. The props. Yeah, man. It's like I said, dude. It's anyone coming out the other side of it, mate. You've done well. Gizmo says, Rob Van Eyck is weird but fun. He's like 80 or 90, and he's from Belgium. Love politics, new chicks, and Muslims. What?
Wow.
That's a hobby.
Yeah.
You have to see his weird films. Cool.
Just threw Muslims in there out of nowhere. It's like I got the new chicks part. And maybe being a little political, because anybody can kind of fall into that trap. But Muslims, like what? What's going on? Oh shit!
Right, so we've got through all that. We'll start whacking through some of these titles. First one, I think 88 films have got a release of this in the UK. But again, I've got these old fucking crappy Vipco Scream Time DVDs. And it's a bit of a weird one to start off, but it is Rats, Night of Terror. If you've ever seen this, really low budget post-apocalyptic film where you end up with sort of 2 groups of people, one living above ground, one living below ground. The sort of people that are living above ground are the more sort of like wealthy. People that are living underground are the sort of poorest, poverty-stricken. But then because there's been this sort of nuclear fallout, rats have been have been irradiated and mutated, and they are attacking the sort of elite on the upper ground. So the elite wants to now go underground to try and get out the rats' way, is the basic story. But if you watch this film, the only way I can describe it is like watching a 1970s episode of fucking Doctor Who. That's what it looks like. The filming's dog shit. The sort of props look like they've been made out of cardboard boxes.
Nice.
It's Italian as well as the dubbing is fucking awful in it. But it's a fun watch. Obviously, this is just a crappy DVD of it. There's fuck all features on it or anything. Well, I collect these bit core DVDs for what they are, more nostalgia really than anything else. But I'm sure 88 Films have got a nice release of this one out now. And I mean, God only knows what it looks like in Blu-ray. You know what I mean? It looks fucking bad enough on DVD. So to see it in 1080p or a 2K scan of it, my God, you know what I mean? It would probably make it look even fucking worse. There we go. That's it. That's the one. That is the one. I mean, dude, look at that. Look at the cover on that one, right? Look at the cover that 88 put out.
I bought this like 2 years ago, and I still haven't even opened it yet. How fucking pathetic is that, right?
Then we'll have to watch long.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love rat movies, man. Fucking like Willard, Rodents. Was that Deadly Eyes where they dressed all the puppies up as fucking rats and had them running around?
Yeah, but they made them the 88 Films you've got, the slip. They made it look like cool as fuck. It's not. You know what I mean? It's like
nice.
It's really, really low budget. Even if there was a budget, you were lucky. But there's probably good. The 88 do generally a good job, so I'd imagine they've put some good shit with it. Is there a reverse art on it?
It looks like they just swapped the colors over. There you go.
Right. Yeah.
So you got that side, and it looks like they just swapped up the colors just a little bit. Right there. That's it, basically.
Yeah.
So that's part of their Italian collection, huh?
Yeah, it's an Italian film. Yeah. But is it part of the Italians classic collection? That one. Yeah,
it says Italian collection.
And you've got a split with it. Have you got a split with it as well, dude? Then they're worth money. Them ones. But it's an odd film to say the least, because at no point in the film do the rats seem that menacing that you're shitting your pants watching it. They just look like rats that have had baby powder thrown on them and have got like really shit coloured in red eyes. It's like it's an odd film. It's a good watch. Get a few beers in you. You know what I mean? You'll enjoy it more. But for 88 to put it out, that shit must look really good now. Whether that makes it look better or not, I don't know. But
you was sitting there going over it. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, dude, like I fucking swear to God, I think I have that movie on VHS. And as I looked over on my shelf, I'm like, holy fuck, I think I have the 88 release he's talking about.
Yeah, we'll have to watch along with it, mate, because it is fun. It is fun. You know what I mean? It looks like whoever did the costume design had like £50 for go shopping in Goodwill or somewhere like that. You know what I mean?
95-minute runtime, man. That's nothing, man. We're running
man. Crusher says a rat movie, whatever next. Man, there's some good rat movies. Like I said, Willard and that is.
Yeah, I love the remake of Willard too, man. But that OG one, though, that's where it's at for me. But Crispin Glover did a great job as Willard.
Yeah. I mean, what's the other one? I don't think it's just rats, but rats in it. Food of the Gods.
Oh yeah, I got you. I completely forgot about it. Yeah, Ben was that was kind of only. I think everybody knows that movie now. It's because they used a fucking Michael Jackson song in that goddamn movie.
Yeah.
It's a decent movie. I know everybody loves that movie, but I prefer the OG Willard, of course. But I was trying to think of his fucking name too that played the in Willard. I'm trying to think. I know he was in Lords of Salem. I'm trying to think of his name. Just can't fucking think of it. Doesn't matter. But yeah, there's another good film. I think it was made in the '90s. Probably it's called Rodents. That was a pretty good flick too. And Food of the Gods. That's just one that I've watched. I just don't remember jack shit about it. It's on that double feature from Screen Factory.
Yeah, it's a decent enough film. And it's special effects don't fucking live up to much anymore, but it's still entertaining enough. You know what I mean? It's,
Nice.
Cornish Port. I can only get better from here, Crusher. Oh, I should have
Rat
met
movies, whatever.
it can
Yeah,
only get better from here.
yeah.
So that was Rats. Second one we look at. I mean, if you've been following what me and Big Johnny's been doing, you'll have seen I've done a review on this one already. And it's David Carradine in Death Sports.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Like, I remember watching this years ago, and I've had this DVD for fucking years. And I sort of forgot about it, and I had to go back to watch it to do the review. Fucking hell, man! It doesn't. It's when people say it's that bad, it's good. No, this is that bad, it's bad. You know what I mean? But it's still entertaining enough in a funny roundabout way. It's David Carradine at his absolute worst. You know what I mean? And Carradine's done some shit, but this is probably up there with the worst he's ever done. There's bad editing in this film. There's continuity mistakes all over the fucking goddamn show in it. And as far as the actual game of Death Sport goes, you see it for about fucking 2 minutes, and then that's it. The whole fucking film. There's nothing to do with Death Sport after the back of that.
Nice.
And like I said in the review, if you like films about motorbikes, you fucking love this, because that's all it is. There's people riding around on fucking motorbikes for like 60 minutes, where they've gone, right, okay, we've got 2 of these destructor cycles. They've cost us like £100,000 to make. We're going to use every fucking penny out of them. Just film it. Just keep fucking filming it. Yeah, but it's like miles away in the distance. Fuck it. Just keep filming it. That's all it is. It's that and shitloads of explosions. But it's entertaining enough. You don't really know why there's been a new, well, they call it a neutron war in this one. You've no idea why there's been a neutron war. I think there's about 6 actors, like the whole of the way through it. That's it. And you get sort of, they're probably a local amateur dramatic society that they've contacted and gone, yes, we're looking for some people to play mutants. And this Andron Society's gone, yeah, fuck it, we'll do that. Brilliant. And they've turned up on set in their own clothes. And all the makeup department has done has got some ping pong balls and coloured some black dots on them and just stuck them over their eyes and gone, right, just pretend you're mutants. That's it. There's no other makeup, man. It's fucking ping pong balls for eyes. And it's like, how the fuck did they think this was going to pay off? But it's a Roger Corman film, so it was made for about fucking 50 grand, you know what I mean? There's some massive explosions in it, and if you like motorbikes riding around for 60 minutes of an 80-minute film, then yeah, fucking, it's superb. It's got David Carradine locked in a cell shouting at himself for about 20 minutes, doing all the possible sort of facial features that one man can do and emotions that any actor can try and put out. David Carradine does it in that gel scene. It's unfucking real. But it's all right. It's a decent film. I mean, I think it's got a Blu-ray release in the US, I think. But here in the UK, this is it. This dodgy 4:3 DVD release that looks like it's been ripped straight from a VHS. That's like of a film that just doesn't make any sense.
Look, listening to your review and your opinion of a movie, especially something like Desperate, right? So between the review that you have up for it and listening to you talk about it right now, you're like this ever-going pendulum where you're just like, okay, this movie fucking sucks balls. It was made for like $50. And then on this other side, it's like, you kind of sell it where you're like, I got to fucking see what those ping pong balls look like at this point.
Honestly, man, it's so weird that it's good, but it is bad. It doesn't make much sense. There's a small storyline there that right at the beginning of the film, some mutants have kidnapped a child that's with this female ranger, and David Carradine is also a ranger, but the rangers don't help each other because they're like nomads and they're like solitary beings. But she decides to team up with him after they've been in jail together, and then they get entered into Death Sport. Then they escape from Death Sport on destructor cycles, and then the child's completely fucking forgot about, like completely forgot about, till like the last 2 minutes of the film, and they've gone, oh fuck, let me go rescue that child now. And then for the last 2 minutes of the film, they just find him in a fucking cave. You know what I mean? And it's like then it just goes off. But it's okay. You know what I mean? It's definitely worth a watch. It's another one. It's lighter. You just got to have to fucking have a few beers with it and just take it for what it is, basically. But
for the few people who's watching this, Anthony says you're welcome for completely fucking wrecking that ending for you in case you haven't seen
it. dude, the fucking. If no one's seen this, it came out in 1975, I think, or 76, something like that. So if you've not seen this by now, then you know what I mean. In fact, the synopsis I've just given you is probably better than the fucking film.
There you go. Nice, man. You may want to fucking watch it.
Yeah, but I am sure that someone has got a Blu-ray release of it in the US. I'm sure someone has. If anyone knows, drop it in the comments.
It was definitely put on a 4-film collection from Shout Factory. I do remember seeing that. And then I think at one point they actually did put it as a double feature for now this was like the DVD era of Shout Factory before Scream Factory stepped in. But I wouldn't be surprised if Scream Factory actually has that, or Shout Factory has that as a limited edition Blu-ray pressed of only 1,500, because you know how they pull that bullshit tactic.
Yeah. That bad, it's bad. It never turns the corner to good.
That's church right there. That's gospel he's preaching.
School of 22, is it going, man? It can only get better. Hold me beer.
That's the spirit.
Cushy says he's on the order list.
I'm telling you sold it, man.
There we go. Hey, and the other good thing, Crusher, the other good thing, man, it's a Prism Leisure release. So get looking for it on that Prism Leisure DVD line, dude, and get it in your collection. You can pick it up for fuck all now, this. In fact, somebody will probably give you a copy if they can find one. You know what I mean?
It's fucking good to you.
You just fucking have it. Brad says, Gizmo, goddamn fucking right, man. Love that flick. Peter Weller is so good in For the Unknown Origin.
That's definitely a Scream Factory Blu-ray right there, if I'm not mistaken. It definitely is.
Love me RoboCop. Yeah, man. Naked Lunch. Naked Lunch is a great film. Not enough people talk about Naked Lunch. Yeah, probably everything I've seen him in. He's also really good in Screamers as well, if you've ever seen Screamers.
Amen to that shit. Everybody brushes that movie over and just never really gives it any praise.
They do.
That fucking movie's great.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. I love it. I mean, 101 did a nice release of it. I would imagine somebody else has as well.
Scream Factory's got it.
Yeah. Gizmo, Brad, are you on in 4 hours on your channel? UFC's beginning in 1 hour, so we'll have you on in the background.
Yeah, they definitely got a UFC fight going on. I'm trying to fucking think. Who is that card tonight too? Fuck it, whatever.
I don't know. It's one thing I don't watch UFC, to be honest. I'm not the biggest fan.
Could have sworn Diaz's name was in it, but maybe not.
Anthony, every time it's absolute garbage. I love it. The garbage stuff is the best.
Shirts pressed up, man. You need like that little slogan, like fucking, it's absolute garbage. Oh.
Brad to Gizmo. We'll be on at 10 p.m. EST for 4 OES at the minimum.
God damn.
Lauren Ball, tip for anyone who watches Master of the 80s. He will spoil every film he talks about. I speak from experience.
Years of experience for her.
There we go. Straight from the daughter's mouth. I ruined film experiences by telling everybody the ending.
Don't go watch it. It's absolute shit.
It's absolute shit. It's definitely no Death Race 2000. Do you know what I called him, man? I don't own a copy of Death Race 2000, and I should do. Because I do not have a copy.
Wow.
And I've watched that film loads. Yeah.
That's like fucking like top of the fucking like pyramid for that style of fucking kind of films too, man. Especially like for Deadsport and shit like that. But damn,
yeah, for David Carradine stuff as well. Yeah, it's
Roger Corman at his finest right there.
it is. Nate Diaz, Tony Ferguson, Chimera versus Holland.
And I'm trying to think, man. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gizmo, but I think fucking Diaz, man, hasn't he done lost like the last fucking 6 or 7 fights like he's had in a row now? Like, goddamn, like they gotta be paying that kid some good money, man, to get in there and get his ass whooped that many times. I could be wrong though, but I think it's Nate that's fucking took the ass beat in the last 6 or 7 fucking times. It seems like.
Yeah, it's apparently there's some conspiracy shit going on, and the fight card was switched last night. Again, I don't follow UFC. I have no idea.
Oh shit.
Um,
Fucking Dana White was like, "Fuck this, we're changing this card."
Yeah. Crush says, "What Death Race 2000 is a must-own." I know, man. I know, and I do like the film. Just for some bizarre reason, I've not got a copy of it. Nick B, hello, Nick B. You're a new name to this streaming channel, mate. Welcome. I hope you're okay. Are you all a fan of trauma films?
Absolutely.
Yes and no.
Yes.
Some I am, some I'm not. It just depends what it is. Kush says, "Hell, watch all the Death Race movie collection." I've seen the remake stuff that had
like the Jason Statham films and shit.
Jason Statham. Yeah, you had Jason Statham in it. I've seen that remake, and that wasn't too bad. All the ones after the back of that, I can't say I've ever seen them.
Good looking women in those films.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fucking shitload of them. There's about 4 of them.
Yeah.
So, I just seem to have all my DVDs on top. So,
go for
this
it.
This one is one of my favourite cheeseball actors of all time. And he is the ultimate fucking cheeseball. It's Patrick Swayze in Steel Dawn. Again, no fucking Blu-ray release in the UK. And I don't know why. It could only be licensing issues.
Damn.
Because what do you call it? Put these out, didn't they, in the US?
Yeah, I was just about to say, I was just at Best Buy like an hour ago, and they actually had Screen Factory's 4K. They had the Steelbook right beside it, but it was sold out. But they actually had the slipcover edition, which is the 4K UHD. And you're sitting there saying you don't have a Blu-ray. Man, just say something, man. I'll fucking send that shit your way.
Yeah.
I didn't even pick it up. I'd have known so, man. You could have just said something. I'd have fucking sent that shit your way.
This is an old Anchor Bay release. And there's, to be fair, there's quite a bit on it. It's featurettes, making of, fucking a nice chat with Patrick Swayze, the ultimate cheese bottle. But I suppose of all the Swayze films that there is, and don't get me wrong, the guy was a dude. You know what I mean? He fucking Roadhouse. You know what I mean? He's a great film. But this is probably the film that introduced me to him back in the day. And he is the best thing about this film by a long shot. Because everything's centered around his acting ability and the way he comes across on camera. Because everything else about it is pretty fucking shit. But
I thought in our last stream that you said that Dirty Dancing was like your big Swayze.
Ghost. And like I say, you know what I mean. Swayze's done some decent stuff. Steel Dawn's it's what led me into sort of Patrick Swayze films or getting to know the guy. And it's again a fun watch. Can be described as being very Western-like. It's like watching a spaghetti Western. Post-apocalyptic spaghetti Western is the only way I can sort of explain it. And he's like, what would be a gun for hire? And this guy's brought into the town to try and clean the town up of these assholes that are trying to fucking take over. And he's some kind of I don't know, like fucking samurai kind of dude, really. That's the whole
assassin.
Yeah, basically that's the fucking concept of him. But that's the only way I can describe it. It's like watching a post-apocalyptic spaghetti western. Some good fight scenes in it, good finale in it on it as well. Definitely worth a watch. Definitely worth a pick up, I suppose. On the Blu-ray, if you can grab the Blu-ray in the US of it. But here in the UK, we're just stuck with this old Anchor Bay release. I'm sure it's it's not 16:9, it's 178 anamorphic, so odd screen ratio on it as well as but Steel Dawn is definitely up there. One I watched loads and loads as a kid. Not really watched it that much in my older years. When I was younger, fucking watched the shit out of it. That's an entertaining thing.
Yeah, man, definitely. I'll definitely get that 4K for you and send it your way, man. Just like with Life Force and shit, because I know you're still needing that one, right? You need Life Force on 4K, right?
Life Force never got a 4K. I mean, Life Force may get a 4K in the UK, but it'll come through Arrow, I suppose, at some point. Because Arrow was the license for it in the UK.
Yeah.
Where the hell am I?
That being you holding up Still Dawn, that being an Anchor Bay release right there, especially physical media collectors here, like during the era of DVD here, man. Like we all pretty much can probably agree that if there wasn't no Anchor Bay, like our physical media collections would have fucking been horrible, because Anchor Bay was like the top of the line kind of shit, especially in my book, and a lot of my other friends was like, hey, like Anchor Bay was like actually putting releases out that had like good booklets and shit, an array of special features and all kinds of shit. They were like the Arrow video to us, like back then when there was no Arrow video.
If you look at the sort of stuff they're doing, I mean, they're putting sort of artwork inside reverses of covers, and you know what I mean. And other DVD companies weren't doing that in the UK. You know what I mean? Definitely weren't doing that in the UK. So even over here, Anchor Bay was a big thing. You know what I mean? And to be fair, it still is on some titles because it's the only way you can get them. And then, like I showed before, with the whole Prism Leisure thing, Prism Leisure came along, and Prism Leisure started putting these kind of titles out. But Prism Leisure were the kings of picking low budget shit up and turning it out inexpensively, so you could pick these up brand new at the time for like £6 and £7. But they were doing the same thing. They were putting thumbnails in, like artwork behind discs and shit, where other companies weren't doing that at all. So I think Prism Leisure sort of just really copied what Anchor Bay was doing. But
if there's ever
on the cheap end of the market,
there was ever a company to try to fucking take an inspirational note from, there you go. Anchor Bay fucking had it back in the day. So
yeah,
like I said, I still go through all those releases, man. Every time I open that box over there, where I have them all boxed up over there, and I just look at the spines every time. I'm just like, fuck, man. Like I had it made back in the day, and I just didn't really know it.
Yeah. Gizmo says, nice. Well, to category 3 and me to Brad. Nice, fun to listen to you. Not many channels left for me on YouTube about films. Yeah, man. I mean, this is why me and Johnny decided to do this. You know what I mean? It was nice to talk about new releases, but I think it's also nicer to talk about the shit that you've already got in your collection, and go back at some old shit that people may not know of, or people may have forgotten, or people may have not seen that particular release of it. And I've loads of this kind of crap lying about. So this is why me and Johnny decided to sort of this exploitation station bit up on both channels, just so we talked about movies and films. You know what I mean?
And to paraphrase that, like a little bit more in depth, like it seems like with the majority of shit, it seems like, the new release comes out, whoever gets it first, of course, the big thing is doing a video holding this brand new product up that just came in. Most people haven't even got it. And before you know it, everybody gets it in the next week. Well, 2 weeks go by and everybody's gonna forgot about that fucking release even came out, and everybody's waiting for what's the next thing about to hit the mailbox. So it's like, fuck, man, let's stop for a minute. Let's watch the shit, watch the special features, and enjoy why the fuck we're paying all this money for this shit. Like,
Yeah.
So it's not all about just sitting in front of a camera being like, well, I just spent a fucking fuck ton of money on shit that I'm never going to watch. We all buy more shit than we ever going to watch. just outruns
Yeah,
for the majority
massively.
of us. But yeah, so but it's actually nice to fucking stop for a little bit and be like, okay, fuck this. Like, put your mind on like 5 films for this month. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, it's I mean, I've bought very little this month, really. Some cheap titles here and there. I showed you that I managed to snag a copy of the Arrow Steelbook of Demons 1 and 2.
It was a fucking score, by the way.
Yeah, in mint condition for £6. Definitely marked up wrong in price. So that was cool to get. That was second hand.
But they might
I've got
tell just by the packaging and the weight of that thing that they kind of figured there's maybe a little bit more value than just £6 to it, because the artwork alone on that is like, that's pristine shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that's.
I think what's personally happened with it, there is no J card, so the barcode would have been on the J card.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no barcode on the steelbook. So when you take it into a particular second-hand shop that we use, a physical media second-hand shop, they will scan the barcode to see what price that's trading for or selling for cash for. And because there was no barcode, they obviously didn't know what the fuck to do with it, and they've give it in at Demons 2. The Arrow single edition release of Demons 2 is only selling for £6.
Yep.
So I think they've priced it up as Demons 2.
As the Amaray release.
Yes.
The standard
Amaray release. Yeah.
Yep. That makes sense. It really makes sense.
So as soon as I went in,
boom, on the J card.
Yeah.
100%.
So if there's no J card, they've no way of telling in these shops what shit's worth at all. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Just very unique, you know what I mean? For anybody to price it, like to think of a price to put on it, you're holding it in your hand and you're just like, well, this looks a lot different from the ordinary shit we get in.
Yeah. See, and the staff in this particular shop couldn't give a fuck. They're not bothered. You know what I mean? They're not bothered at all. They just want to price shit up, give you the least amount of money possible for it, and then bang it on a shelf at top price. That's all they want to do. They're not interested. They're not fans of film. They're not fans of video games. They're not fans of music. They just work in that store. So if you took a big bulk, a load of titles in, and they've just scanned everything through, and they give you a price at the end, you've probably no idea that they've mispriced that in your trading. So you won't realise that you've been done over basically until you look back at your receipts, and then it's too fucking late. But someone's do-over is my triumph. So.
Exactly. I was about to say, man, somebody's fuck up is your glory. Like that's, somebody else's trash is your fucking treasure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a great score, man. Like I said, as soon as I saw that picture when I opened it up there, I was like, dude, for £6 he got that. I chased mine down. I still ended up paying $40 for it. And that was a good price because everybody else wanted 60 or 70 for it at that fucking time.
Yeah.
But you know me, I'm not gonna buy them without the J cards on them and all that shit. Like my shit has to be fucking just because I'm OCD, but that was a great score, man. It was a great
I mean, if it had been more expensive, I would have wanted the J card, and I mean everything else is there. The booklets are there. The inlay sort of like postcards in there. It's just there's no J card. Now for £6, I'm not that.
One benefit for not having the J card is you actually get to see the full artwork for Demons 1 on the front and Demons 2 on the fucking back.
Because the J card on it, covers Demons 2. Yeah. Dirk says, is Steel Dawn the sequel to Red Dawn? Well, if only, mate. If only. I mean, Red Dawn's probably a better film than Steel Dawn, to be fair. I like Red Dawn. Red Dawn's a great film. I think the remake they did of it was fucking sacrilege.
Hold on a second. I think that was Red Dawn I saw at Best Buy, not Steel Dawn. Holy fuck, which one was it now? I can't even remember at this point.
It's probably Red Dawn. It's just come out by Shout Select, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a 4K release.
It's Red Dawn. But there is there is no Blu-ray release of that in the UK neither. So
damn.
It's
What's going on there across the pond, man?
Patrick Swayze is having a bad time in England.
Yeah, really, right? God, man. Died a horrible death, and he's not even getting good fucking films put out across the pond. What the fuck's going on?
Crusher says, I have updated my Steel Dawn movie. Which one did you get, Crusher? Have you got the Blu-ray, mate? Who the fuck's put them out? It's Stinger that's put those out. They put out The Gate and Little Monsters and Vestron. The Vestron titles. Vestron put Steel Dawn out on Blu-ray in the US.
Did they?
Yeah.
Fuck, I probably got it over here and I don't even know it.
Yeah, it was probably the second to last they put out, maybe third to last they put out.
I look like such a dickhead right now. You're right. Yeah, they put
There
it
we
out.
go. There we go. Now, what extras has that got on it? Has that got quite a bit on it, or is it just what was off this original Anchor Bay DVD?
Fuck, dude, it doesn't look like much. You can see the little silver square box right there on the back
Yeah.
of it.
But on the back of the original Anchor Bay, it says trailer, featurette, making of documentary, Patrick Swayze biography, and still gallery.
First, you got an audio commentary, the interviews with screenwriter, interview with director, photographer, interview with production designer and costume designer. Let me see. Hold on a sec. Archival featurette, which is making of Still Down, probably the archive from that release you're holding. Still gallery and theatrical trailer. So you get a few more interviews on this one. Plus,
that's cool.
It's on Blu-ray, and I'll give it to Vestron. Man, their Blu-rays look fucking great. So
they're fantastic, but for some reason,
they're $12. They're $12 fucking dollars over here, man, in Walmart's of all places, man. So if you need that, man, I'll fucking hook you up, man.
Yeah, cool, dude. I think when they come out over here, they're about 14. I think they're about £14. They're a little bit more expensive over here, but they don't put everything out. You know what I mean? For some reason, that's been a title that's not come out.
Cool deal, man. Like I said, it'll be in your box, man.
Cheers, dude. Brad says to Gizmo, thanks. There always will be more. Got a lot in the works with these guys, including Johnny and Anthony soon as well. Yeah, man, it's just one big happy family. You know what I mean? We stream, we chat the shit, we text, we video chat. You know what I mean? It's
we all have the same exact fucking hobby and the obsession, which is we're all just listening to one another to see, like, okay, like somebody's dug a gem out of like all this shit that everybody's buying, and everybody's like, yo, like you got to check this one out. This one's really fucked up. And it's like,
yeah,
all right.
I know that Anthony reached out to me maybe Friday evening from Anthony's Horror and More. He reached out asking could I live stream, and I said, yeah, mate, of course we can live stream. He said, you seem to be into obscure films. I said, let's get it right, mate. I'm into shit films. They are not obscure. There's a fine line between obscure and shit, and my stuff is generally shit. But
if there's more, right?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man! Getting
yeah.
Right
so yeah. So I think it was yesterday evening. I think he messaged me. And I said, dude, yeah, whatever. If you ever want to come on, man, and chat the shit, by all means, we can chat the shit. So I think he wants to do something about obscure horror titles. I said, that's fine, man. We'll do something beginning of October, and we'll stream something about some obscure horror.
Maybe we can you can try to convince him that Life Force is a better film than Texas Chainsaw Massacre and see what he thinks about that.
Well, that's a sore subject with a lot of people in it. You know what I mean? That's got me in boiling water. You know what I mean?
As bizarre of a statement that is, like, I'll give you like a lot of kudos because it takes a lot of fucking nuts to say that, especially for anybody who's watching you. You're not just sitting in your living room saying that shit to your wife or some stupid shit. But to say that shit where everybody can hear it and then it's still up for everybody to see, it's like, oh fuck, dude.
I still hold strong to it. I still say Life Force is a better film than Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, but I mean, for your love of a certain class of film too, man. Like Life Force to you is like, it's like seeing that half naked bitch that looks like a 10 walking on the beach with nothing on. Like that's fucking like you can't take your eyes off of it. Yeah, Chainsaw Massacre to you is kind of like, well, she's like a 6 or a 7. She looks all right, but the hot bitch with double D's, that's a fucking 10 over there. Which one are you gonna look at? You know what I mean? It's no fucking brainer.
Yeah, definitely. And if anyone that's watching knows me and they've watched previous videos, they'll know my choice of film that I tend to go for. And Life Force is more of that cheesy horror, sci-fi, over-the-top goodness that I love, and it's got it in fucking bucket loads. It's fucking brilliant. As far as the film goes, if you're into that kind of stuff, you can't ask for more. Texas
And there's a
Chainsaw
bitch that walks around the movie completely naked for the whole fucking runtime that he's not talking about.
Yep, which is the cherry on the top. It's a good film. Is it a Tobe Hooper film that's better than TCM? Probably not. But for my liking, it's the better film. TCM is a good film, but I've always been sat on the fence with it. Always. Because the sections of it that I like and sections of it that I fucking detest that just take me out of the film completely. So, and I know, speaking to big TCM fans, that people are going, that fucking English bastard's a fucking lunatic. What the fuck's he on about? But that's the way I've always felt about it. You know what I mean? I know CK even fucking mentioned it over at Dead Pit. Who's that fucking stupid English dickhead who didn't like TCM? It's me. You know what I mean? It's me. You know what I mean? But that's the way I stand, and I don't dislike it. I don't dislike Texas Chainsaw, but I don't love it to the degree that other people have got it to a pedestal where other people have got it to. I can watch it, I can enjoy it for what it is, but the sections of the film that just take me out of it, that just piss me the fuck off. So I can't say it's a personal favourite. You know what I mean? I can enjoy it, but that's enough TCM ranting.
Had to do it.
As everyone just switches off. Like we've had 20 people watching all night now. Everyone's just fucking disappeared now. Fucking stupid, limey bastard.
The old bait and switch.
Gizmo to Brad. Nice. Do a peek around the best of. We all sit together and see them. Best to worst. Was it not worst to worst? Oh,
yeah, man. Like you're talking about like fucking 70s, like really big fucking bush kind of porn.
Bushy porn. Absolutely not. It will get a lot of clicks, and I will watch it. All notes meant I meant £6 in weight, not £6 in money.
Nice.
Dirk says I've slowed down my buying a lot, made a bit more selective now. Either sheep are running towards are usually walking the other way. Yeah, man, I've been doing it for a long while, Dirk. And I know other people have mentioned it, and other people have brought my name up in the past in other streams and that. I only buy what I like. I only buy what I want and what I need. I do not blind buy in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't work for me. For one, obviously it's expensive blind buying, and then you're not being into it. Two, I haven't got the fucking space. You know what I mean? If I had the space, I'd probably have a go at blind buying. I haven't got the space. I can't collect like that. So I only collect what I want, what I need, when I want it. And what I find at the moment, what I find at the moment is, unless it's a special collector's edition of something, I'll pre-order that. If it's a general release, I'll wait till it comes on sale. That's the way I'm buying now. Like the only thing I've got on pre-order at the moment for Halloween is 101 Films are dropping Ghostwatch, which is fucking brilliant. I'm over the moon they're doing that. But that's the end of October. I've got nothing else pre-ordered. We're at the beginning of September, so
it's a good rule to have, man. Especially with the prices we're all paying for all the shit that we're all trying to get into and see what it's all about.
Yeah,
I do the same shit, man. So for, of course, my blind buying is just like the opposite side of the coin from you, because my blind buying is like a big fucking stack about every month. But it usually that blind buying shit is not just me looking at the cover of it going, just go for it, man. Like, that's a great fucking price. Like, it's fair. Usually my blind buying is going to be like a stack of shit that probably like Cody's recommended. That way,
yeah.
If he's recommended it and we're going to watch it together, he's recommending this because he's like, hey, dude, like, I know your fucking taste. Like, we've watched 200 fucking movies plus together. Like, you're going to like this. So So that's but that right there in itself, man, just going for like a stack of those every month. I mean, fuck, dude, you know the prices of that stuff, man. It's
Yeah.
fucking expensive. You sit down at the end of the month and you figure up all what you spent on physical media alone with everything that you rocked, and it's like, god damn, man, like I could fucking have like another vehicle or two out in the yard, man, with some fucking, as fucking car payments out there.
That's what I mean, man. I mean, the dude that knows this more than anybody else is Tony over at Basement Blues has just joined us. You know what I mean? Hope everyone's having a good day. How's it going, Tony? How's it going, man? I hope you're okay.
Hope you're doing good, Tony.
This dude knows how to do it. He knows how to buy. He knows when to buy. He knows what kind of prices he should be looking at. If anyone's the best example of buying physical media, go and check out Tony's channel. Because the guy's a wizard at it. Brian's the same over at Brian Goes Blue. He's another wizard as well. Price wise, know where it's dropping for the best value. You know what I mean? It's an art form. It really is.
It's like the like you say, it's an art form. It's kind of like the days where like you would walk in the kitchen to see like your grandma or your aunt clipping coupons out of the paper kind of shit. Yeah, that's those guys.
yeah, true. Right. We just don't get that kind of stuff in the UK. It doesn't happen. You know what I mean? There's no stacking coupons or collecting points or do it in the UK. Nothing like we've never anything like that.
Arrow Video is probably one of the only sites where you can actually accumulate points for purchasing shit.
Yeah,
like, we don't have a lot of sites like that here.
Yeah, but in the UK, I don't need to order on Arrow's site. I can just walk into HMV and pick it straight off the shelf. So for me, I don't have to pay postage. I don't have to wait. If a new release comes out on Sunday, which is normally new release day in the UK, I can walk in store on Monday and pick it straight up. So I'm not waiting for it. I'm not paying for the postage. So whatever I'm gaining in Arrow points, I'm probably saving in postage. You know what I mean? I suppose it's swings and roundabouts. But I do get Arrow points. I have seen Arrow points, but I've never ordered anything off Arrow's site. I've never needed to.
I definitely only mentioned that because anybody who's buying off of Arrow UK site, it was actually nice to hop on there during a sale one time and have like over 4,000 points. I think it was like 14,000 points I had at one point because I bought so much shit from them. But it was nice to get a bunch of free shit during a sale using those redemption points. I was like, fuck yeah, I can add more to the box that I didn't need.
What did it equate to? So what's a point worth?
So no, they do it by like the like they do 100-point scale on it. So you'll buy something that's like, let's say on the UK side it'd be like 16 pounds. Well, that's probably gonna come up to like I think it's fuck man, if I'm not mistaken, because I think they went by the 100 points on it or something like that. I think it's like 1,600 points. I think maybe it's 800 points. I could be off on that. But then you go look at something, you can redeem a title for like 2,000 points. Sometimes it's 2,400 points, shit like that. Cool. So it adds up nice.
Yeah, it adds up. Yeah.
But it's got that mentality though that they're going to use that as promotional because it's going to get you to come back in the door and buy shit again because in the back of your mind you're like, hey, I got basically like some free shit to go along with this stuff I'm going to buy. So
yeah,
smart tactic.
Yeah, definitely. Crusher says, anyone here like cyborg movies like RoboCop and Terminator? Fuck yeah. Then take a look at my cyborg movies collection videos on my YouTube channel. Yeah, anybody that's in here that's never seen Crusher's channel, go and check Crusher out. Crusher's got a great collection of movies over there.
Definitely check it out, man. I thought he was talking about the movie, the Jean-Claude Van Damme Cyborg movie. I was like, holy fuck, man, like that's a great flick. I haven't watched that shit though since Scream Factory released it. That was a great release.
We will get to that in a minute, mate. That's a mistake here. So
nice.
There's Tony saying hello to Dirk. Gizmo said, sorry, I mean Satan's Brew, Norwegian here, bad English.
But wait a minute, what was that? Satan's Brew. I think I have a movie called Satan's Brew. I think it's an independent film that Horror Pack released here in the US as one of their subscription boxes, and I think I have that. If that's the same thing he's talking about.
Yeah. Cody's saying the director's cut of Life Force is much better. Yeah, I mean the US theatrical cut was chopped around a lot with, but on that Arrow release, you get both cuts on that Arrow release.
Nice, man.
Dirk says it's all good, Anthony. Everything hits everyone different. Too many variables to go into entertainment we consume. There is, man.
Yep.
Tony says I'm out of space and I keep buying. Yeah, man. It's... Skull says 88 Films also does points on their site. Again, I've never ordered anything off 88's site. Tony says I love getting points from Arrow and also from Criterion. Dirk says the Arrow titles on sale in store when they have sale on the site. I just got an order in from the UK. They are, mate, yeah. So when I go in store, whatever sale they've got running at a particular time that Arrow's got on their website, it'll also be in store as well as. So if you ever need anything picking up, Dirk, when it's sale time, mate, just give me a shout, pal, and I'll send you some stuff over.
You know, I'm glad that Tony mentioned that too for the Criterion site doing the point stacking shit.
Points, yeah.
Because I usually never order from Criterion unless they do their flash sales. I always go to stick to Barnes and Noble for the 50%. But I'm glad he brought that up because I definitely have a shit ton of points on that Criterion site. But I had no idea that 88 Films did the point system on their website. I'll take a look at that, man. Does 88 Films even ship to the US? Like, I don't think I've ever ordered from their fucking website.
I think 88 now have a US-based service, I think. So I am sure 88 are now releasing titles in the US as well as.
Gotcha.
I think it's relatively new, and the title, the first title that they released, 88 for the 88 Films US, it was on the tip of my tongue. I'm sure it was a martial arts film. I would imagine it's a martial arts film at the moment with them, but Olin says that's the way to do it, Anthony. Get it in person and guarantee that you don't get one that's mangled up, unless you've had a few Newcastles and it can't be helped.
Yeah, we've all been drunk buying.
Yeah, after a few of these, mate, I've been mangled myself. Olin saying hello to Tony. Dirk saying thanks, Anthony. There you go. Brad says 88 no have a US branch.
Nice,
right, let's rip through some more of these titles. So this is one that I sort of give you the heads up about last week, mate. And this is a gem of a film. Again, we've no fucking Blu-ray of it over here, but it's Sisterhood. Roger Corman again. If you can, I think there is a version up on YouTube. So if you can't grab it anywhere, check it out on YouTube for yourself. I would say the only downside to this film is the soundtrack. Soundtrack's really odd. At points in time, the soundtrack doesn't go with the film. It's like, do you know who Benny Hill is?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Well, it's like
fucking Benny stuck in me bum. Yeah, I know that.
yeah. Well, you'd have the same music going up. Weird shit music. Well, at points of time, the music just does not go with what's happening on screen. Now, I don't know if that's just this DVD thing, because I don't think I've ever seen this in any other way other than this DVD. Or whether that's what it was like if it was on TV, when it's been shown on TV, or Code Red have a Blu-ray of this. Now, whether that audio track's been changed for the Blu-ray release that Code Red did, I don't know. But it's terrible. Whoever came up with the music score for this film won't shoot it, because it's fucking awful. But the film itself is really, really good. Like, exceptionally good for a low-budget film. If you're going to look for a copy of this film, I suggest finding the Code Red version, because it's multi-format. So you won't need a region-free player. It is a US, because it's Code Red, it is a US title, but it's multi-region. Because obviously that's the best way to view it. If you have to get all of it on this DVD, make it your last resource to do it, because it's shocking quality, this DVD. Like, it's in the weirdest version of 4:3 I've ever seen. It might as well be 3:3. It's squashed in really tight. It's really odd. It looks like it's come off a VHS rip. Basically, it looks like it's a rip of a VHS. But this DVD is region free as well as. And this can be picked up pretty cheap, whereas the Blu-ray from Code Red's a bit pricey now. I think to get it over here, you're into like the £20 mark. But it's probably worth it. I would say it's worth it. Out of all this low budget post apocalyptic stuff, this is the one that stands out. Obviously, after the sort of drop of the bombs, humanity's been sort of like dispersed and eradicated, and men are growing to be the dominant force, and they're enslaving women. Well, there's a pocket of women on the uprise called the Sisterhood, but they've been mutated by the radioactive fallout. So not only are they good fighters, but they've got sort of like mutated powers. So one of them can like heal people by touch. The other one's got sort of like Superman X-ray vision, sort of like beams that come out of her eyes. One of them's extremely good fighter, and it's how they sort of get back at men, I suppose, to free the women that's enslaved. It is really good. It's really well shot. It's really well acted for a low budget film. The quality of the sort of in-camera special effect is really good for a low budget film. So if you ever want to chuck sort of this kind of stuff on your TV and you want to watch something you've never seen before, you can't go wrong with Sisterhood. It is that good. It is really, really good.
I know when you got it in, especially going out in the wild like you did and picking it up off the shelf, I know you was like fucking super excited. And I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck's he got? What is this? And you was like, yeah, dude, it's Roger Corman. I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's extremely good. Probably better than some mainstream films of the same genre. It's a tidy film, and there's a couple of, as we go through this stat, there's a couple of the really low budget ones that stand out to be exceptionally good. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Mate, that cover is fucking. I can't really get it tight enough. That says nothing about the film. If you check out the Code Red one, Code Red did 3 Roger Corman films. They did this, they did Wheels of Fire, and what was it? Equalizer 2000. They were the three.
Shit.
They were the 3 post-apocalyptic or post-nuke Roger Corman films that they did. Now,
we just talked about Equalizer 2000 because I remember you was like, dude, like check out the covers. Like whoever did the artwork must have been pretty much the same guy because it looks very similar for the artwork. And the artwork was fucking great on those Code Red releases.
Yeah, I mean all 3 of those films are fucking bangers. You know what I mean? Really good. Probably Wheels of Fire out of the 3 is the best film. All 3 are really, really good. For Code Red to get 3 films like that and do a sterling job on them is exceptional. I mean, we haven't got them in over here yet, but there's a Spanish company that turns them out. I think they're putting them out the beginning of next year, January kind of time next year. So I may be able to get them cheaper on the Spanish imports than those Code Red ones. But I would imagine that it's just the same. It's just the same print as the Code Red ones.
Not to mention too, especially for this genre that we're covering for this month. I was kind of just going through, taking my notes, and I mean, of course, everybody knows with this genre that, I mean, we look at like, you know, especially when you look at something like Mad Max, Fury Road, Beyond Thunderdome, like a lot of people was trying to rip off, like direct, you know, just like the same thing with John Carpenter's Halloween. A lot of people was lined up to rip off the success of that, not necessarily rip off, but they wanted the same success from it. So a lot of these films, though, to save money, they were going to Italy and Rome and all these other weird fucking places across the country to go film these movies for these super low budgets. And as I found out, as I was watching a few of these movies, by the way, man, which I'll get to them, man, but Jesus Christ, like there was directors who were purposely getting people that spoke Spanish to speak it in English. However, they couldn't translate it very properly and not say it the way that like, you know, somebody of English would say it, like a phrase.
Yeah.
And they would make them leave it in there. So like, as you watch some of these movies now, man, especially some of these really low budget films and shit like that, you look at it and you're like, wow, man, like they just probably didn't really give a fuck back in the day about this stuff. Everybody was on cocaine. They were like, man, fuck it, it's all right.
Yeah. I mean, those Italians didn't give a fuck, did they? I mean, they were probably making 2 or 3 films a fucking week like this. You know what I mean? They were just churning it out. It was just a factory.
The amount for this genre alone that was shot in Rome, no shit, is like 82% of this genre filmed in Rome.
Yeah,
They got like one of the craziest tax credits of that time too. As I was like kind of digging through to see, like, wait a minute, why did everybody go to fucking Rome? Oh well, not only do you have some the various locations in Rome that looks like the driest deserts in the world. That's exactly what they want for the cinematography and all that shit. So, but yeah, they got like a really crazy tax credit, and a lot of American actors. Which I mean, for a lot of these movies, even though they were casted and they got over there, a lot of these actors wasn't getting paid amendums for weekly work, and a lot of them walked off set. So that's why you really, for this genre too, you have a lot of people you'll see on the screen for a while, and then you don't see them for a while. so, so it had its challenges for this genre, that's for sure. But
yeah, maybe that tells you stuff as well. There was certain kings of that genre, and you'll take notice of a couple of actors pop up in loads of this kind of stuff when we start going through it. One actor in particular, when we get to him. And he must have been on every Italian director's books for years. You know what I mean? If you can get this guy in, he's a bit of a name. He'll do you a sterling job. Away we go. Get him in on it, and you'll find as we start going through this, he's in about 4 or 5 of these titles. You know what I mean? From different Italian directors, just because he did such a good job with them.
And since he's like scattered across that genre specifically, and all these directors wanted him. The agent was selling his work for a good price because nobody's going to chase an actor that has a good name behind him. It's going to be over the fucking budget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If 3/4 of your budget for your film is just for that one actor, that movie's pretty much doomed to begin with.
Definitely. So I think this is the last of the DVDs for a bit, till I get to the end of the pile. Bit of a weird one there. This is not a film. This is a cartoon TV series. And not many cartoons ever went down the line of sort of post-apocalyptic things. And this is probably why this one only ran for a season and 13 episodes, but it's 13 episodes of just sheer brilliance. And everyone knows my love of 80s cartoons, and this one stands head and shoulders above a lot of the rest. And it was a cartoon called Visionaries. Visionaries is a fantastic show that starts off of the first episode with an apocalyptic type event that wipes out the face of the planet, wipes out a lot of the population, and then the only thing that's left in its place is magic. And magic becomes the forefront of people's religions and people's beliefs. And this forms 2 factions, good guys and the bad guys. And you end up with this cartoon show, Visionaries. If you've never seen this show, it's fucking brilliant. It's in my top 10 80s cartoons of all times. Not many people remember it, but I fucking love it.
Not to mention this fucking animation. That's like they pushed the religious aspect point for that too. Like he was kind of summing that up there between the 2 factions.
Yeah,
that's wow.
That's the 80s. We'll try and sell kids anything. You know what I mean? It's
so 13 episodes for the first season, and no season 2 ever made it.
Nope. Like a lot of other cartoons like this, if the toy line didn't do very well, they never got commissioned for anything else after it. And this was a thing that the toy line didn't do very well, so no season 2 got commissioned. But if anyone's into sort of 80s cartoons and have never heard of or watched Visionaries, check it out. Believe me, you will love it. The animation style, the stories, the opening theme tune. This DVD now is long out of print and goes for fucking stupid money. But if you can find yourself a cheap copy of this, pick it up. There is no US release of this. There is only a UK. It's only ever got released in the UK. So if you are looking for a copy, it will be a UK edition.
Gotcha.
So you'll need a region-free player for anybody in the US that's looking for it. But that's that was Visionaries. I thought I'd throw that in there just to mix it up a little bit.
Nice.
So some of these next ones, we'll go through it. We'll go through it like this. We're sort of like titles that are sitting on my shelf that were larger budget titles, but didn't do what they should have done, sort of box office wise. And the first one being, and I like this film, and it got fucking slated, and I can understand why a little bit. It is Babylon AD. the beginning of it is a true essence of post-apocalyptic life on Earth. And then by the end of the film, it looks like you're in downtown New York somewhere, present day. It goes a bit weird and it goes off on a tangent, but it's entertaining enough, and I've always liked it. And to be honest, I like Vin Diesel. You know what I mean? He's not the best actor you'll ever see. He's also not the worst. I think his films are entertaining. He does what he does. I mean, the Pitch Black stuff, the Chronicles of Riddick stuff, I really like. But Babylon AD was one of the like, under the radar ones that you'd never hear many people talking about, but I think it's really good. So that was that one. Again, another one that people shit on, and it had two really good actors in it. And again, I enjoyed it, but it has a bit of a weird ending, and I think that's what a lot of people don't like about it. Is the Book of Eli?
Yeah, we just talked about this.
Yeah. I really enjoy it. I think there's a couple of sections in this film that are exceptionally good. A couple of bits that aren't, but for the most part, it's an enjoyable film. And again, these can be picked up for peanuts now. The next one, I've only ever seen this once, and I've never gone back to it since. And it's a good few years back. And there's a reason that I've never gone back to it. It's not that it's a bad film. It's not. It's a very good film, but it is fucking soul destroying. And that is that is the road. God, you have got to be in the fucking right frame of mind to watch this. Holy shit! If ever a film painted a picture of what the world would be like if this shit ever went down, this film does it. Because this has got what people would look at as nice people on the surface and were probably nice people before the incident, turned them into absolute fucking selfish assholes that will do anything to survive. And I think that shows you pretty much what mankind would turn into. You know what I mean?
The feeling of that movie right there can be summed up by just saying, if you watch that movie and you're already not on antidepressants, you will be.
Yeah, you will fucking need them. And you know what? You know what I mean? I like Viggo Mortensen. I think initially what got me in to watch this was Lord of the Rings. I like him in Lord of the Rings. I think he's fucking really good. And then you put this on, and oh my god, it's an exceptionally good film. But fucking hell, it's a hard watch. Hence why I've only ever watched it once. Then it's just sat on my shelf.
Yeah. I dug him in prison though, man. That was a great fucking Empire Picture film right there, man.
Yeah.
Love that flick, man. It's crazy to see him in there like that, but man, he had the chops to do it. That's a good flick.
Yeah.
Then you see like History of Violence, of course. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep sitting here and go down his whole fucking filmography.
No man, do it. He's a good actor that I don't think has probably done enough. You know what I mean? I think he's an actor that got overlooked a little bit at one point.
Psycho remake. He was the bitch's boyfriend, not the one who got shower scene, whatever. But the sister, whatever. He was in there briefly.
Yeah.
That was Dustin Lizanne's remake.
Yeah, he's a class actor. I think possibly Lord of the Rings may have spoiled him. You know what I mean? Doing those three films, I think he probably didn't want to get typecast. You know what I mean? And get stuck in just doing fancy films forevermore. And then I don't think much more came a knocking for him. You know what I mean? And he took the odd film, and the stuff he's done is generally good, but I don't think he ever did enough. Next one, before we have a look back at what's coming through comments, is a film that I know you love, mate, and I love it as well, because I think this is as close as sort of 80s cheeseball in a modern day film you're ever going to get, especially with practical effects in it, as well as it feels like you're watching a comic book. It works from start to end. That's Turbo Kid.
Fuck yeah.
Turbo Kid's great. Enjoy this the whole way through.
There's that fancy steelbook.
There you go, man. That's a fucking beaut, that. But if you know what I mean, if you like films that particularly look like Kick-Ass, I always thought Kick-Ass had a similar kind of look and vibe to it. Check Turbo Kid out if you've never seen it. It's low budget, done on a budget. Low budget, done with money. Is that a way to explain it? Really, it's made to be low budget, but it wasn't low budget. It's good.
There's not really much to complain about when it comes to fucking Turbo Kid, man. I mean,
no.
It looks fucking great, man. The story is very retro feel to it as well, with especially with the soundtrack they use and all, the items this kid has kind of scavenged and kind of did his own little bunker up with and stuff like that. The kills in it's fucking great, as gory as fuck, and it's over the top gore, so you can have fun with it. You're not taking it too seriously, but yeah, man, that was a flick right there, man. Just to say how much I love that film and how good it is, man. I watched that movie for the first time sitting in my living room. I got another copy of it. I think I had it on DVD. Somebody gave me a DVD of it or something. So I watched it, loved it, immediately clicked play again as soon as the credits got done. And then the next night, when everybody was all, the kids were here and everything, I'm like, my kids has got to watch this fucking movie, and watch it for the third time the next night over. And I think me and my kids has probably watched that movie together probably more than a Nightmare Before Christmas, and that's a fucking lot. So, that's Turbo Kids that's where it's at. That's it's gory and it's fucking brutal as fuck. It's still a family film.
It is really entertaining. It's I think at the time, when did it come out? That about 2015, something like that. Mm-hmm. So at the time, you were sort of getting quite a bit of that looking stuff, you know what I mean? The way that film was filmed, like Hobo with a Shotgun, that was shot very similar. And I dig that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? I think it works really well.
It kind of reminds you, and I think it is too. I could be wrong, but is it Raven? It is Raven Banner. Raven Banner does have that look and that feel to their movies. Yeah. Especially like, they're all shot digital, of course, but they make it look really fucking good. So, and we all know that Raven Banner is definitely that's a low budget kind of company, but they do great fucking movies, man. I'm like running through the shit that I get from them from Horror Pack, and I'm like, dude, like this is a solid fucking company right here. Like, I think me and you was talking about it before, which I think is another Raven Banner title, which is Psycho Gorman, which is fucking took everybody by surprise. Everybody's like, what the fuck is this movie? Watch it.
Again, another great film. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But Raven Banner's got it going on, man. They got some misses, man. Come on. I mean, they all can't be fucking bangers, but they definitely got misses. But man, when they do fucking bang on it, it's like,
it's good stuff. It is good stuff. And like I said, Turbo Kid, if you've never seen it, then check it out. Honestly, it is really, really good.
It's almost like an apocalyptic / fantasy in a way too, because I mean, come on, you got fucking robots in there for fuck's sake. So
it's it is really, really good. Gizmo, I'm a sucker for Hell Comes to Frogtown, Cherry 2000, and A Boy and His Dog. Love them. Well, hold it there, set mate. We might as well skip through a little bit. What the fuck is it? It's here.
I've heard so many people talk about A Boy and His Dog, and I've never seen that fucking movie.
I don't own a copy. It's been a long, long while since I've seen it. I was skimming through some stuff the other day, and it popped up. And I should have picked a copy up, to be honest, but I didn't. But yeah, it's a decent flick. Hell Comes to Frogtown, man. I might as well show it while you've mentioned it.
Yeah.
Fucking great film. I know Alan over at Pop's Movie Dungeon fucking hated it when he watched it. You know what I mean? But I think it's fucking great. And obviously this Arrow release is great, but I know you guys over there, you've got the VS release of it, haven't you? It's a truly good film.
Absolutely.
It's I wouldn't say it's up there with some of the better stuff that Roddy Piper's done. You know what I mean? It's no They Live, but it's still real good, cheesy fun, and he still takes a really, really good part in it. Because at the end of the day, he's just a dude that's going around impregnating women. That's got his.
That's what I was about to say. He's the last dude on Earth. There's a bunch of hot bitches walking around when there's not frogs.
Yeah. He's got his fucking dick and balls in some kind of fucking lock device. It's and everybody's wanted to shag him for the whole 90 minutes. Really good film. Just loads and loads of fun. This Arrow release is fantastic. I would imagine most of the stuff's pretty the same that's on the Vinegar Syndrome release. Again,
You know, that's one I never compared the differences on for the special features, which you would think that, especially that title, I would have already done that a long time ago. But dude, it was at that time, man. Like I was like one of the last people to get that Vinegar Syndrome release with like that big box on it and all that shit.
yeah.
So getting that was just like, as long as I had it on the shelf, then it was like, okay, like I'm good. I'll compare the features later, and it's just something I never went back to. And then Joe Bob Briggs, of course, like a couple of weeks after I got it from the Vinegar Syndrome, because I had that one first with the booklet that was limited, then got the VS one before it sold out with the box, and then Joe Bob Briggs for The Last Drive-In. Fucking, that's like one of his last movies for season 2, I think it was at that time. Fucking great night right there, man.
Yeah, the second one was never going to top it, you know what I mean? And if you have ever watched the second one, that is a hot pile of shit. You know, that is not good shit. That is just shit that should never have been done. The second one is bad, really bad.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but this is a fucking blast. Always like this. Always have had like this. I've always liked Roddy Piper, so it's a bonus that he's in it. But
that was definitely a movie that I was telling Alan about, so he could pick it up and give it a watch. Because honestly, I just kind of figured like he would love just the bizarre and the fucking chaos of this movie, and it's just so fucking weird. But he got it and he watched it, and he could like messaged me back. He's like, "Look, man," he's like, "You know, man, you love some really good shit, man. But this one right here, man, it didn't hit well with me." And it seems like after that, a lot of my recommendations to Alan just fucking fell flat. Next, I'm like, dude, you got to watch Naked Lunch. This fucking movie's amazing. Or House, you know, the Japanese one, not the Sean Cunningham one.
Yeah, Sean Cunningham.
Just like you watch his house, and he's like, dude, like, what the fuck is your deal with these weird ass movies? I'm sorry, man.
You can't watch blockbusters all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is where the stuff comes in. But I've always liked Hell Comes to Frogtown, and it was always a staple late night TV show in the UK. You know what I mean? You know that Hell Comes to Frogtown is going to show at least 4 times a year. You know what I mean? Back in the day in the UK. So every time it was on, I'd watch it, and then when Arrow threw that out, you know what I mean? It's a definite one for the collection.
So they played it over there on your side of the pond as much as they played fucking Beastmaster here on TNT in the fucking States, because that movie was on every day fucking after school for like 2 or 3 years straight almost.
Beastmaster's fucking great. You know what I mean? It's one of those films that I've got nostalgia for, the love for, everything for. It's fucking superb. That edition that you sent me, man, that Vinegar Syndrome did, I mean, that is, because for years and years I only had a crappy DVD of it, and then that come along and you're like, wow, you know what I mean, in 4K, from DVD to 4K. You know what I mean?
You know, we discussed this before too, man. Like, yeah, it's 100% fact, and we all know it. That 4K from Vinegar Syndrome, it suffers a little bit.
It does.
There is definitely some fucking issues there. Like 100%, your high dynamic range on your TV is literally like telling you what the fuck is going on here.
It takes over. The HDR does take over, and some points it makes the screen look way too red, like skin tones go out of shade. But all that aside,
you get like a bronze color instead of a tan kind of thing. And you're like, God damn, this is like spray on tan kind of shit. But like, even though that 4K disc does have its issues, man, I assure you, the fucking Blu-ray disc that's on the flip side of that 4K, man, that's where it's at, man. Like, you could tell, man, Don Coscarelli still had a lot of love for it, man, and he worked with Vinegar Syndrome every fucking day with that movie until they got it done. Look at the amount of special features on that. I still haven't even probably got through half of those fucking features, man.
Yeah.
There's a making of documentary on there. It's like fucking 2.5 hours, I think. And I was just like, I'll fucking never finish this.
Yeah. It's it is great. You know what I mean?
It's a banger, man.
It is. Oh my God, I've just tapped the chat and it's all gone to shit. Hold on a second. Where was it?
You're good, man.
There it was.
There you go. Yep.
Gizmo, I worked on Babylon AD. Fuck yeah. My third big job. The shot was in Norway. North of Norway. Sweet, man.
Nice, man.
So if that was your third big job, what was the other 2 big jobs? If there was 2 jobs bigger than Babylon AD, man, then
right up under it, he said he meant his third big studio film job. So not as 3, like as in biggest, but Yeah, I'm interested too. What was the first two that was lined
Yeah,
up right there? Especially as far as the studio production company you worked for.
yeah. Dirk, love the road. Yeah, man. It's a one-time watch though. It's not what you're going back to anytime soon.
When
You
you
know what
when
I
you
mean?
held it up, the only thing I could think of is like I remember me and the wife grabbing a physical copy of that when it first was released on physical, and I know we watched it instantly after buying it. And I'm trying to think if we ever watched that movie again. And I'll be honest with you, I think that was a one-time watch for us in this house too. So,
Yeah.
but from what I remember of it, it was a good fucking movie. But
It
yeah,
is. It's exceptionally good, but
you're not coming out of that fucking movie though with like let's go out today and have some fun. No, no, no. It's
that's
fucking
some grim
grim.
reality. Yeah,
Yeah,
grim reality.
City of Lost Children.
Gizmo, The Road, and City of Lost Children. He's bought so incredible, sad and great at the same time. It is. Yeah, yeah. I mean, City of the Lost Children. Don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, man, that's a pretty good flick right there. But it's just like he's saying, like for the road right there, man. Like that's there's no great feelings coming out of that film though. You can say it's a good film all you want to, but everybody around you is just like, God damn, man, like, let's go fishing or something to try to forget about that experience.
Dirk said, "Death Warmed Up" is a great one. Death
Nice.
Warmed Up.
So
Death
Australia
Warmed
film.
Up, was it?
Severin put it out. It's got a bizarre ass looking slipcover on the front of it. I got it over. I just haven't got to it yet. But damn, that's cool, Dirk. I didn't even know you grabbed Death Warmed Up, man. It's probably one of the many you had there in your box though when we did that unboxing.
Yeah, I don't know that title.
Look, the next time Severin like marks those DVDs down to like $2, $3, $5 a piece, man, I'll just buy you a shitload of them and send them your way and be like, here, watch all this shit.
I mean, to be honest, man, like the last stuff you said, oh, like Turkey Shoot was in there. The quality of the DVD and the features that you're getting on them for the money that you're paying is unbelievable.
It's fucking great.
Unbelievable.
I'll be fair, man, because I've tooted that horn too, man, of being like, dude, like, look, you can't go wrong. They're selling their fucking DVDs for like $2, $3 a pop. Look at all the features because it lists the features on there. There is, however, a lot of Severin DVDs though that even though it lists those special features just like it does for the accompanying Blu-ray, yeah, those features sometimes ain't really on the DVD though.
Ah, right.
But in that case, yeah, you're good to go with that one. But some of them, unfortunately, hey man, for a fucking $3 DVD though, man,
that's what I mean.
DVD looks as good as the fucking Blu-ray, man. It's like it looks really good.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Cody said the girl in Turbo Kid scares the living shit out of me.
Yeah, man. She's fucking so clingy in that goddamn movie too, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'd have shot that bitch on the first day.
It's great. It's great fun. The hell comes to Frogtown. Just don't watch Frogtown 2. Yeah, man, it is fucking terrible.
I've never seen it, man, but
after
we talked about it like years ago, and you were just like, dude, like, fuck, dude, 2 is not where it's at, man. Like that's
it's poor. Gizmo, Fair North, maybe not a studio film, but my first big Sean Bean and Michelle Yeoh. Don't even make me try and pronounce that word. Rebellion was my second. Cool. How was Sean Bean, man? I like a lot of Sean Bean's work. I don't know if you guys ever know, he did a TV show called Sharp years and years ago, sort of early mid-90s, which is fucking brilliant. He plays a British army sergeant during the Napoleonic Wars, and it's about the it's about the exploits of Captain Sharp. It's a really good show. That's Sean Bean. Great actor. Famous for saying the word bastard a lot. That's
nice.
Look, he's putting big words on there, making me try to say things. Fucking hell, man. Gizmo. Katut Katuki. Oh yeah, fuck that. Rebellion. Dude, there's a whole lot of words on there that a fucking poor lad from Wigan like me ain't gonna fucking pronounce. But I take it was quite good. You know what I mean?
Nice, man. I almost thought that word was NyQuil over there. I'm like, yeah, it's not NyQuil. It's like NyQuist.
Got was supposed to direct RoboCop 2, but turned it down. Still think he regrets it.
Tashanga.
What would you say? What would you say is your favorite post-apocalyptic film of all time? I want that really, mate. Yeah, it's hard. It's probably coming up. We'll whip through some more of these, and I'll probably show it. But it's hard because of what I found with this stuff. It's all enjoyable, but all pretty much bad at the same time. You know what I mean? It's all on the same kind of key. It's you get exceptional ones, you get low budget ones and shitty ones, but it's all enjoyable as each other. So to try and find like an all-time favorite of it is really difficult. There's a couple I really enjoy. I will get to them in a minute.
There you go. Enough said right there.
Well, that was going to be what I was going to show next. Was obviously Mad Max trilogy. No,
fuck yeah, man.
Just like TCM, I have an issue with the Mad Max stuff, and again, people are going to start tuning out in fucking droves. I love Beyond the Thunderdome. I love Road Warrior. Mad Max, never really had much time for. I always found it really slow, very Australian, like very Australian. Australian films stand out a lot. Australian TV stands out a lot, and this was like watching Australian TV when I was younger.
I'm on the fire. I can go with you, man. I'm on the same page, man. When I watch those fucking movies, I don't even bother with Mad Max. Nope. I don't. Fucking Road Warrior though, and Beyond Thunderdome to me is like that's the one that everybody fucking hates, but that's the one I love.
I love. Yeah, exactly. So the two, it's Beyond the Thunderdome that I like the most. Like I said, Road Warrior, yeah, he's good, but I always enjoyed that one more. It was probably bigger budget. It was more batshit crazy. It was more cheesy. And I think that's what did it for me. But again, I mean, take nothing away from the three films. You know what I mean? It made him a fucking global superstar.
We can sum that film up by he basically gets fucked over because a guy kills his wife by popping a wheelie on a dirt bike and it kills her.
Yeah, basically. No, it's like, yeah, it's just so slow. But I suppose it's a classic. People love it. But for me, I just preferred the other two. You know what I mean? I think they were two better, more entertaining films.
I agree.
Now, as far as do we call it the fourth one or the unofficial fourth one, Fury Road? Don't like it. Not in my collection.
Wow. Now that was the fucking bold statement of this.
Yeah. Because I don't like the fuck's his name? Fucking name's going to hit me now. Tom Hardy. Now, if my wife was here, she'd be calling me all the names under the sun now because she loves Tom Hardy. Personally, I don't really like him. I think he's quite limited in his roles. I think he's far better as a TV actor than a movie star. I think he did an okay job as Bane in the last Batman film. But as far as his other stuff goes, Bronson's all right. Bronson's a half decent watch.
He did a good job in Lawless. He did a film called Lawless about like the Moonshine era.
Yeah,
he did
yeah,
really
yeah,
good. He played the brother to Shia LaBeouf in that film. He did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
There's a brutal fucking scene in that movie that involves him that's definitely unforgettable. But yeah, man, I'm not the biggest Tom Hardy fan either. But man, fuck, I love fucking Fury Road. Though I'm surprised you don't care for that. That's kind of it's like wow, man. Like of all the shit that was coming around during, I mean, that movie's probably what, like maybe a decade old now at this point, maybe.
Yeah.
A little bit shy of it, maybe a little bit more. Who knows? But I figured that'd be one where you were like, shit was coming out, and you're just like, fucking, finally, here's something for me at the fucking theater to go watch.
Yeah, and I like I say, I have seen it. It didn't do a great deal for me, and I think a lot of it does stem with him. It visually looks superb, but a lot of people I know that didn't like the film initially, over time have gone back to it and tried with it and persevered with it, and have started coming round to the fact that it's a good film. So maybe at some point I may start liking it, and I may start taking it for what it is. But as it is now, doesn't really do a great thing for me. And like I said, with Tom Hardy, I think the best thing that Tom Hardy's done was a TV series called Taboo. I don't know if you've seen that. That's exceptionally good, like next level good. But I think that's personally the best thing he's done. So it put me off. I'm always interested in. They did that black and chrome edition, didn't they? Of
Fury Road.
And that's always seemed intriguing to see something like that. I haven't seen that edition, so maybe you know what I mean.
I know Matt picked that up, man, because I remember when that first came out, man. He's all over the Mad Max shit, but he picked that up, man. And he was all fucking excited about it, man. I know he loves it, man. So I have to fucking check out and see what's going on, because the reason for the Chrome edition was you actually get like an option to see that film like granulated from its color segments, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. Especially as far as when it comes to the first Mad Max film, and I can tolerate it, I can watch it, and it's all right. But I know the shit's gonna start getting good whenever Road Warrior gets popped in. Because for me, I think that now just as much as I did when I was a kid, and I was just like, there's not really nothing going on in Mad Max, but fucking Road Warrior, that's a little different. But Beyond Thunderdome, man, I know, like I said, everybody hates that fucking movie, and everybody's like, God damn, Tina Turner's in that movie, man. That fucking movie sucks. And I'm like, hey, whoa.
Yeah.
It's the best one.
It is. I actually enjoyed it. You know what I mean? And I think because it was a bit shitty, and you know what I mean, it just had that element of shit that I liked. I think that's what drew me into it. You know what I mean? It was over the top. It was a bit naff looking in places, yeah. But we'll whip through this chat quick. Gizmo, reasons why I love Mad Max is because of the incredible cool way of making no budget movies. They have used so many cool tricks. Yeah, man, like stunt coordinators and things like that in those films. I mean, fucking out of this world. Some of the stunts you can't knock those. Nick B, y'all ever heard of an Australian movie called Welcome to Whoop Whoop? No, not one. I've not at all. I'll have to check that one out. I mean, there is some killer Australian movies, you know what I mean? It's there is some really good Australian stuff. Cushy says, I don't think much of the first Mad Max movie, just like 2 and 3, exactly the same as me and Johnny, mate. I think the first one's really, really slow. Gizmo, Fury Road, Dread, and The Edge of Tomorrow is the only good action films from the state. From the state in the last 15 years, in my book. Dread is an unbelievably good film. And I denied about putting that in this stack of films. Because I don't think it is. I just don't see it as 100% sort of like apocalyptic kind of film, Dread. I know it's in that kind of universe, but it's also got a bit of a sci-fi element to it as well. But Dread is an unbelievable film. And you'll hear sort of like me and Brad and that bang on about how good that film is and how good Carl Urban is. I think Carl Urban's an unsung hero.
Cunt.
Yeah, he's fucking brilliant. He is brilliant.
I still gotta watch that, man. Bought the fucking
what
was that the exclusive steelbook? Yeah, Steelbook 4K from eBay or something that Best Buy put out. I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, dude, it's a brilliant film, brilliant film. Nothing like the Stallone version from '90s. It's really good, really good. But like I say, I like Carl Urban, and I think it's probably one of his best roles. Gizmo, I know Dread and Fury Road is 50% produced from South of Africa, but still American. Come on. All note said he's still waiting for season 2 to be. So am I, mate. They kept saying it was coming, and it's just never materialized.
Is that an HBO series?
BBC.
BBC? Okay.
Yeah, so BBC made it. BBC put it out in the UK. So I'd imagine it'll be on BBC in the US. I would imagine, unless HBO picks it up. I don't know, but it's a BBC show.
I've seen the image, the little it's like a guy in a top hat and it looks kind of morbid and sinister kind of thing.
Yeah,
I've seen that image like on streaming services that I have, but like I said, I just never clicked on it before.
Yeah, I mean, thing is in them as well. Another British actor called Neil Graham. Have you seen Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels?
Absolutely.
He's the Liverpudlian. He's the Scouts guy out of that. He also played. He was also in Boardwalk Empire. He played Al Capone.
Okay.
In Boardwalk Empire.
About.
That's Neil Graham. He's in that. He's in it as well. Excellent actor. Dirk says Fury Road is very woman empowerment heavy, but I do love the practical effects.
I can agree with that. 100%.
Yeah. Ragnar 666 is in the house.
Hello, Ragnar.
All right, mate.
Hope you're doing good. What else you got over there, man? Let's see what else.
So I've got again another cheesy film that everyone hated when it came out. I think at the time it was the biggest budget of a film ever when it first came out, and then it tanked at the box office massively, and then found a home on sort of like VHS and shit when it came out, and then I think it got a bit of a cult following after that. But it's Waterworld.
Knew you was gonna hold that up. So you said really the biggest budget, the flop. Everybody knows that story.
I mean, I fucking love Waterworld. What was everyone's problem? I don't get what everyone's problem was with it. It's fantastic. I love it. I think Costner's great in it. I think the supporting cast is great in it. What can you not like about it? I don't get it. It's a fucking long film. You know what I mean? Like every other Kevin Costner film, it's long as shit. But I thought it was fucking great for what it did. And this Arrow release is fucking fantastic. You know what I mean? There's like 2 cuts of the film in here, or 3 cuts of the film, or something fucking mad like that.
Shit, man, maybe everybody just wanted like a Dances with Wolves 2 instead of Waterworld or something. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I can't think what the films prior to this would have been. It would have been Dancing with Wolves. There must have been a couple of bigger ones than this before this, then this, and then he went off the boil a bit, and then he did another one, which again I haven't got a copy of here, which I sing the praises of quite highly. And it is The Postman. That's another post-apocalyptic film he did. Postman's fucking great. Yeah, I mean, unbelievably good film. Another Costa film that everyone seems to have forgot about. And it's a shame that Arrow's not picked that up. I mean, I see that they've picked up Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which, yeah, great. I love that film as well. But I can see Arrow probably picking that up. You know what I mean? At some point. I'm trying to
think of the name of the series that he's doing, that he's been doing now for like the past 5 or 6 years, and everybody loves the fuck out of it. I just can't think of it off the top of my head, but I do know that's like his big paycheck now. I'm sure somebody in the chat's gonna get it. They'll throw it down there, but I do know that's like one of the fucking like highest rated fucking television shows like for like the past couple of years now.
Right.
Somebody will throw it in there, but fuck, I completely forgot what it was.
Yeah. Ragnar got it when I said about the budget of it. Gizmo got it when I said about the budget of it. Corey said Universal Studios show is better.
Wait a minute, there's a show for Waterworld? Holy shit.
No, I think there's if you go to Universal Studios, I think they have a like a you know when like they bring stuntmen in to do different things.
I got you.
It's like a section of Waterworld. I'm sure that's what that is.
Nice.
Gizmo, want a cigarette? You're never too young to start.
There you go.
There we go. It's all about cigarettes and oil.
You let your comment on there.
It's weird. It's weird using this phone and not the computer.
Gotcha.
So I know that Crusher will like this one, and I do too. And for me, and again, this might be a bit odd, but I think this is his best film that he's done. There's a couple of other good ones, but I personally like this one the best. It's Van Damme in Cyborg. This limited edition 88 release is cool as fuck. You got a lot of posters in it and stuff. This was limited to 3,000.
Nice.
No, I don't do slip covers. You know I don't do slips. So that's like foil metallic slip cover on it. It's quite cool. Numbered on the back there. Limited to 3,000. I first saw this film at a friend's house. I wouldn't have been so old, probably 14, maybe something like that. And there was a sleepover at his house, and we watched Cyborg. It's the first time I'd seen it, and I was like, "Fuck yes!" Super Van Damme, weird-looking guns, really shit post-apocalyptic wasteland that had been made out of some 25-gallon drums and some bin bags. This screams Cannon films all over it all day long. I think along with this and another film is probably what put the end to Cannon films. At the end, I think it's what sent them over the edge was with this. I think there was problems with actors. I think there was problems with injuries on set. There was problems all over the fucking shop with it.
Hey, we can give Chuck Norris some of the fucking blame for that too, right?
Yeah, definite. But as a kid, as a young teen, it stuck with me, this one. And yeah, I like kickboxer and I like blood sports, but because I'm into the sort of like science fiction kind of stuff, post-apocalyptic kind of stuff, watching this one is right up my alley. Fucking great film, really, really good film.
Whenever me and my buddy Matt, we talk about that movie, like he'll hold it up or like I'm talking about it, and he'll be like, "Yeah, that's in the good old days where people used to do cocaine and actually die to make a movie." Because, of course, the story was Cyborg. Somebody actually fucking died on the set for the special effects. So it's like, goddamn. But it happened.
Yeah, it's like I say, it has just got Cannon films written all over it. And like I said, to get Van Damme involved in the first place, I can never fucking hell's his name. I can never think what his name is. Well, do the middle. Somebody drop his name in the comments. I can never think what his fucking name is. I can't even see it on back.
Looks like Brad Dourif on that cover.
Yeah. He plays a top fucking sort of badass in it. You know what I mean? The final fight scenes is fantastic. Gizmo Cyborg was supposed to be Spider-Man, the set and the producers. But yeah, I'm happy with Cyborg. Yeah, man, that was when Cannon had got all the rights to do the first Spider-Man film, and it all fell to shit. There's no way Cannon would have ever been able to do anything with the fucking Spider-Man franchise. Crusher says, I like Cyborg, but watched it a few weeks ago now, and for some reason I couldn't get into it anymore. Makes me so sad, but I didn't know that there was a Cyborg 2 and 3. Fuck me, man. If there's a Cyborg 2 and 3, I bet they're shit. I bet they
Holy hell, man.
Terrible.
Hey, that's news to me. I didn't know they fucking existed.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Can you imagine what the budget was for those? Holy fuck.
Yeah. I mean, Canon were the kings of budget, so if they were doing it up cheap, 2 and 3 must have been terrible whoever picked them up.
There you go.
Another one now that I've already done a review on. This was the first review that went up. This is a cult favourite of mine. It's Solar Warriors, aka Solar Babies in the US, aka Solar Kids in Australia. I mean, this fucking film's been called all kinds. This should have worked, but doesn't at all. But it's still a charming little film, really. It's if you're into sort of those like 80s kid buddy go on an adventure kind of films, then you'll dig the fuck out of Solar Warriors.
You did. To be fair, you actually sold it pretty good though on the review.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make much sense in places. The storyline doesn't really go anywhere apart from it all evolves around that orb that you can see there, called Bodhi. And it shows the young kids a future where water is everywhere. Like water's a commodity. It's got a massive value to it. And these kids have been put into, like, I suppose they're orphan children, and they've been put into these camps to be trained as like militia or like a herd hand police force. But you don't know what they're policing. It never fucking tells you. You know what I mean? It never shows you. It never tells you what they're actually being trained for. But it's some kind of militia group. And then obviously this alien life form comes in, this Bodhi, and they go on the adventure to find out about the past civilization of what's actually been going on. And it's filmed really well. It looks really good, and it's a very sort of kid friendly film. There's some couple of scenes in it that are really fucking gory. You know what I mean? So I don't know what this would have been at the time, because this is it's on Blu-ray. It's a 12. Well, 12 rating wasn't about in the 80s, so fuck knows what rating this was. I could never find out. I still now can't find out what the original rating was for it. But like, this absolutely tanked. I mean, proper. I mean, I think the budget on this was 25 million, and it took $1.5 million back at the box office.
Fuck.
Yeah. The guy that directed it only ever directed 2 films, and this was the best one. The guy was a dance choreographer on Broadway, and decided he wanted to have a do at directing films, and went in for this. And to be fair, it's entertaining enough. The sections of it, like, they're called Solar Warriors, but it's off-putting because you think it's something to do with the fucking sun and not water. But the whole film's based around water, and the whole reason that they're called Solar Warriors is that's because that's the name of the fucking like rollerball team that they've got. But the rollerball takes like no part of the fucking film proper. You know what I mean? It's really fucking weird. They could have called it anything other than fucking Solar Warriors. It's weird, but it's really entertaining. Really entertaining. It is well shot, but again, the story doesn't make much sense. The ending's a little bit weak, but it's got some kick-ass fucking actors in it that you'll know. I mean, there's 2 people in here out of fucking oh fucking hell, man! I tell you, I started talking about things, my mind goes blank.
Fucking Newcastle for you.
Yeah, well, exactly. Let's just stay off that shit. Lost Boys. There's two acts in here at Lost Boys. There's oh fucking hell. An actor out of here, the kid that was in Near Dark. He's in here. So it's like this was like a starting platform for a lot of those actors before they went on to do sort of bigger and better things. But if you've never seen this, or if it's like a bit of nostalgia that you're looking for, like 80s nostalgia, then you can't really go wrong with Solar Warriors. But if you're looking for it in different territories, it went under a shit ton of different names. So, like I said, UK it was Solar Warriors, US it was Solar Babies, Australia it was Solar Kids. But it's entertaining enough. You know what I mean? It's a decent enough film if you can get past it not making much sense in places. But it is good.
You know, Screen Factory's got that 4K coming out for that coming up here. I think that's November. I think they got that slated for.
Yeah, it's a film I like, but I probably wouldn't upgrade to 4K. I mean that. Yeah, I mean that Arrow Blu-ray release looks fucking brilliant as it is. It does look really good. So a 4K upgrade of that, I probably don't need it as much as I like the film. But again, that's another film that you can look at that has very little storyline. It really just goes for the brutal factor of the fight scenes while they're in the arena. The storyline that runs in and out of Rollerball is really fucking sketchy. You know what I mean? It's a good film. I enjoy it, but the storyline is sketchy to it.
Maybe on paper it just looked a lot better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, possibly. I would imagine it's an adaptation of something, some novel or some other film, or that they've just twisted round. It is an entertaining film, but again, it's one of those that its storyline is really fucking slim on it.
There you go, right there. Dirk got some knowledge.
Dirk, there we go. Fender Tremolo is the villain in Cyborg. The actor is Vincent Klein. I had to look it up. There we go. That's the dude. He's a big motherfucker as well. Gizmo, first fight tonight in UFC is one of the craziest fights ever. This will be a great night.
Holy shit, man.
I'm not for I've done though, so everyone can go fucking watch UFC in a bit. It's
Dirk right there got another one on there for you. For your that Event Horizon 4K. I think Studio Canal popped that out over there for you guys.
Yeah, Studio Canal. I haven't picked it up yet, Dirk. I am waiting for it to drop in the sale, mate, because I know with it being a studio release like that, I'll give it 6 months. The HMV will have it in the 3 for 30 deal, definitely. So I'll just wait till it comes for the 3 for 30.
So I'm taking it that we're never going to see that day that it's ever going to happen where we're going to get that extended cut that's never going to be found at this point.
No, I don't think anybody will ever come across that. I think that was on a cutting room floor, swept up and gone.
Yeah,
it's I don't
from
think
the dustpan to the garbage can, most likely.
Yeah,
material.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate. If they only knew then, I mean, that's not even like a really old movie, man. Look at some of the footage that's been recovered from some of these gyms we've been buying from like the fucking 60s, 70s, 80s, especially the 80s. But all this crazy footage, man. I mean, look at fucking Friday the 13th Part 2. Look at that shit. We actually got the fucking the spear kill for the double penetration. So who knew we'd ever get that?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? Wasn't some of that stuff found on a someone that works on the film on an old DAT tape he had somewhere? You know what I mean? There's no saying that something like that can't pop up of it. But at this point, I think it's probably done and dusted. Is that 4K is probably the best that we're going to ever get that film in.
Speaking of that footage too, man, that'd have been a great little thing for Screen Factory to tackle on right there to put that as a special feature. Was the process that they went through for that fucking production tape that they came across from a producer and how they got it from transferring it from that tape to disc, because from my understanding, they released a story on it saying like they had to take the fucking tape apart and put it in the oven because the film elements kind of stuck together.
Stuck together.
Yeah. It was like, you put that shit in the oven? Holy fuck. Like anything could have went wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd have been cool to see like a little special feature for that. Universal did it for the Universal Monsters box sets.
Right.
You show the restoration process of what they went through, and it was like each film was just literally like 2-3 months at a time going through each film to clean up debris, scratches, and all that shit. So some of us do like to see the technical side of all this shit that's being salvaged, basically. Because
yeah, definitely. But at this stage, some of the stuff that is coming out, it is just salvage, isn't it? You know what I mean? Especially some of the stuff that Vinegar Syndrome puts out.
Digging in the bottom of the dumpster.
Yeah.
We'll put this out. Fuck it, they'll buy it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That would have been full of fucking dumpster juice, most of that stuff in it. You know what I mean? It's fucking, it's that.
Uh-oh. What'd you do?
Oh, what the hell happened then? Something spun us round.
I didn't touch nothing. That was you.
I have no idea. My hands are here. I've no idea what's just gone on, but hey ho.
We're changing it up a bit.
I don't know what the fuck has just happened. Okay. Gizmo says one of the reasons why the X cut of Event Horizon is not released because the special effects people contract. I know some deep dark things on that production. All right.
Nice. It's unfortunate that there's a bunch of legal shit just standing in the way of it. It's not just the fact of I've lost elements, but that's actually good news though. So who knows, man? Maybe that show gets squashed one day, and you'll maybe get it.
Yeah, definitely. I always thought it was lost. That's the thing that I'd read and other people had talked about, and I actually thought it was completely lost. I worked on the special effects model June on Dead Snow 2. He told me the story. It can never be released. They were breaking the law.
I think that's some shit. You almost think it's like maybe like a royalty issue, but it sounds like there that maybe somebody pushed the envelope a little bit, and who knows, man.
Yeah, possibly. It's but like I say, I've always enjoyed the film. Is in the cut I've ever seen it, the only cut I've ever seen it. So that 4K, I mean, it will look good. But again, I'm just going to wait till it drops in price. Now I'm in no major rush. It's not going anywhere over here. You know what I mean? So it'll always be available. So I'll just grab it when it drops in the 3 for 30 because it will do. Give it 6 months, it'll be in that 3 for £30. Because HMV have that running all the time. And then once those 4K, so obviously that 4K shit in HMV does not sell. There's hardly anyone buying 4K. The section for 4K in store is very small. And I would say new editions go to it, and then you give it 6 months, and they're in the 3 for £30 because no one's fucking buying it. You know what I mean? So I just wait for stuff dropping in the 3 for 30 now.
Nice. There you go, man. Save a little bit when you can.
Yeah. Next one up is a title you grabbed for me, mate, because we can't get it over here at all in any way, shape, or form. Whether it was DVD, there might be an old VHS of it kicking about somewhere. But it's an entertaining film. You know what I mean? I won't say it's good, but it's entertaining. And that is Sandal Bergman in She. If you're going into this film expecting the delights of Conan the Barbarian, or what was the other one where she plays the bad guy? I can't think now. There's another Sword and Sorcerer film where she plays it might be Conan the Destroyer, actually. I think it is. It's Conan the Destroyer. She plays the bad guy in Conan the Destroyer. She plays like a witch in something else. So she did Red Sonja Dirk. There you go. She plays the bad guy in Red Sonja. This is not a Sword and Sorcerer film, even though it does look like it. It is a post-apocalyptic film, but it's got elements of sword and sorcery stuff in it, if that makes sense. because I think she was so stereotyped with this kind of stuff. She just went with it. Again, it's entertaining. It doesn't make sense in places. Again, it's another one where the continuity errors are rife in it. But I like Sandra Berman. You know what I mean? I think she was fucking brilliant in Conan. I think that's probably the best thing she's ever done. But she is definitely a good watch, and it's like I said, these Kino releases are fucking great, mate. You know what I mean? It's when these are on sale, man. You know what I mean? No wonder you guys in the US are filling your boots when these things come in. Because they do a fantastic job for the money. And there's not much on it, you know what I mean? There's an interview on there, and with the director and the writer. There's a theatrical trailer, man. But for like, I mean, how much of these was like $9, something like that?
I mean, fucking bargain bin prices, man.
Yeah.
Couldn't beat them.
Duck it at the Red Sonja. So yeah,
man.
So
I've never seen that flick right there. And I remember whenever you sent over your list of your wants. I remember when I got it in here to separate all the stuff so I could send it over. I looked at the cover for it and I was like, "Fuck it, dude, I want to go see if I can pull up a trailer and let's see what this is all about." And I watched the trailer and I was like, "Fuck, I should have ordered 2 of those."
Yeah,
but trust me, it'll be on sale again. I think Kino's like doing 4 sales a year now.
Yeah, definitely. I constantly flick through. Yeah, I constantly flick through those stuff on Kino to see what they've got on. But I think up to now, everything that I asked you for was everything that I wanted that they put out. You know what I mean? I don't think there was much else that I couldn't get. You know what I mean? Because obviously these guys have got titles that I can get over here. They've got titles I can't get. This was one of them that I think the 10 that you got me is ones that I couldn't get.
Oh, was there 10 of them in there? Yeah, man.
I think you got me 10 altogether, didn't you?
Yeah, it's like, man, even though there was 10 in there, man, it's like wasn't expensive at all because, like you said, man, they're like fucking $5, $6, $8 a pop. Some of them are like whatever. But hell, man, I mean,
it's a bargain meal. I mean, the basic looking, you know what I mean? There's not much on, but dude, for the money, you know what I mean? It's
there you go.
I'll have to check that one out. It's a good flick that you'll enjoy it. Gizmo hit it right with this one though. No, Sandra Bergman is the best in the Hell Comes to Frogtown. No, I know we've already shown that one. Is the one I know exactly the part he's talking about. Is when she decides that because she's not interested in Roddy Piper at the beginning at all, and then but the further the film goes on, there's a camping scene where it's gone dark, and she strips off, but she's got like military issue underwear on. Holy shit! She's
goes over here and gets in that bitch's sleeping bag quick.
Yeah, she's a hot lady. But I think probably her best acting role was Conan the Barbarian. She's fucking brilliant in it. Really good. Next one is a really good release. Company that put this out in the UK. I don't think you can get these in the US. But this film's been released in the US, but it's a Signal 1 release over here. Damnation Alley.
Okay. I'm trying to think of who has that out here in the States, man. I'm sure it's got a release from somebody, I believe.
It has. I did look, and I cannot for the life of me think who it was. But it has got a US release. It's really good. It feels like a made-for-TV film, but I don't think it was. But that's the kind of vibe you get about it. It feels like obviously the budget was took on the vehicle. Really, I think that's where it went. But then you bring George Peppard in it and John Michael Vincent, which obviously as a young kid, that's what got me into this fucking film because you got the guy from fucking Airwolf, the guy from A-Team in there. Fuck yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it. You know what I mean? It's and then you had this big fucking Landmaster vehicle that they've got, this big fucking 12-wheel thing, and it sort of works. You know what I mean? It's like there's a Third World War at the beginning. There's a lot of fucking nukes get dropped. Everyone's dropping nukes all over everywhere. And there's that many nuclear explosions gone off. It sort of like sets the Earth off axis. It tilts the Earth, causes all this crazy weather and a really weird fucking magnetic field and all kinds of shit. And It's causing fucking scorpions to grow massive and all kinds of weird shit. It's a good film. Again, just let down by a bit of a poor ending. But entertaining as fuck while it's on. But just feels like really feels like a TV film. Really feels like a TV film. But I think Cody's just hit that one right there. It's a Shout Factory release. So I would imagine it's got the same shit on it, same special features as what these have. But these Signal One releases are really nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Reverse cover art there, it looks like.
Reverse art on them, yeah.
Okay.
It's exactly the same, but on this particular release, they've just took the age rating off it on one side.
Gotcha. At least they gave you that option.
Yeah, so that side's got the age rating on it. Blu-ray, DVD combos, all these Signal One titles are. And there's not loads of releases in the range. The one I do want, and again, it's on the wanted list, and it's in this theme as well, and I cannot lay my hands on it for love nor money. Is Cherry 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Cherry 2000 is a fucking great film, and it's Signal One that put that out on these kind of releasings, but I can never seem to get my hand on it. It's out of print now and goes for daft money, and it doesn't pop up that often.
Damn.
But it's a really, really good film about a guy who wants a upgrade. Well, it's not even an upgrade. He wants the same sex bot as he's always had. And the zone where these sex bots were made is in a quarantine zone now. They can't go into that zone. And the sex bot he wants is called the Cherry 2000.
Nice.
So he hires someone to take him into the Forbidden Zone to try and find one. It's a great film. Great film.
You got me sold on it. That story alone, this dude's going to risk it all for a fucking sex bot.
For a sex bot. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a really, really good film. It's got Thingy in it as well as right, some shit with names. The girl out of fucking 16 Candles and
Molly Ringwald.
It's a good film. If anybody's watched the montage thing before these streams or the montage put up, it's the girl in that who's firing the fucking rocket launcher into the barn. So that's out of that. That's a clip out of that film. But Signal One do a great job. The only other main release I have of theirs, and again, not a lot of people like it, but I like it, is Hudson Hawk. For some reason, I always enjoyed Hudson Hawk, so they put that one out. Now we get into the fucking meat and gravy of it all. We get into the bowls of the best Italian stuff that there is to offer, and I'm a couple missing, simply just because I can't fucking get hold of them. Probably one of the best Italian knockoffs of this theme is After the Fall of New York. Fucking great film. Elements of fucking Mad Max all over it. But probably the best Italian exploitation film of this genre, of this theme that was probably ever done. And this was a 8/8 release. This is in the 8/8, the Italian Classics collection. If you've never seen it, there was another one that came out at the same time called Hands of Steel. I think it was by the same director. Both with watch, but for me, this was a better one. Basically, just a fucking Mad Max ripoff. Nuclear explosion. World has fucking two factions, basically. Motorbike gangs fighting amongst each other. The end. You know what I mean? Basically, all it is.
I was was nerding out a little bit, and believe it or not, but the lead for the after the Fall of New York right there was actually going to be the lead from Exterminators of the Year 3000. However, due to financial constrictions with their agents, he didn't get the money that he wanted, and the other guy decided to go off to college to get a degree. So you got what you got there with that lead actor. But I was nerding out last night, like reading some of that shit too, especially for the shit I got coming up. So I had to do a little bit of homework. So yeah, there was definitely going to be a different lead for that flick right there. It didn't happen. So probably for the best.
Yeah, he just sort of working it as well as, you know what I mean. It's also it's 2019. The alternative title is 2019 after the Fall of New York, innit? And then an alternative title is just the Fall of New York. Because obviously the reverse art on that. I was thinking then, I'm sure it had a different name as well.
Oh, that's it's 88 Italian collection, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, man, that artwork looks great on both sides, man.
Both sides is good.
Fuck, it looks great.
Right.
They need to bring that style of artwork back. I think that just looks a lot. It's got a better selling point to it, in my opinion. It just works really good. You can't help but get excited when you see something like that. Even if you've never seen the movie, the artwork alone will just make you gaze at it forever and be like, "What the fuck is going on right here?" You just picking it apart.
I think the problem was with 88 in the early days when this stuff was coming out. They had too many lines running at one time. So they had the Italian line, the Slasher Classics line, the Vault line. You know what I mean? They just had too much going on all at once, and I think they suffered because of it. I think they really concentrated on the Slasher Classics line. That Vault line got dropped like a fucking hot potato. And it's got
what line did you say got dropped?
The 88 Vault.
Yeah, but I mean, even the slasher line took a hit, man, because there was like almost a year or two there where we didn't even get a new, one of the Red Case editions for a while, man. It's like, wait a minute, what the fuck happened? And all of a sudden they popped out with like Dark Room, and I was trying to think of the other one that came out at the same time, but then all of a sudden they popped up. So Christmas Evil was around that time.
Yeah. But I again, I liked what 88 Films did. I'm not overly keen on what 88 does now. There may be one in 15 or 20 titles that I'll want for my liking now. They're putting out way too much Asian martial arts films or Asian horror. They just seem to have gone batshit crazy with it. And I think there was so much other stuff they could have done or they should be doing. Other than that, I think they've just neglected some of it. But the Italian line, it's cool. There's another one on here as well. If you're into like the whole sword and sorcery stuff, called Iron Masters. That was an Italian exploitation film with the whole sword and sorcery stuff. That's a decent flick as well. But this one and Hands of Steel, are two of the better ones. This being the better one. That's a good flick.
I'll check it out.
And then we'll do these three together. Because again, you grabbed me these three because there were three that I can't get over here in any way, shape, or form. Man, you're saying that. Let's have a look at this quick. Dirk says, I need to see that one as well. I take you talking about Damnation Alley, Dirk. You'll like it, man. You'll like it. It's a late 70s film, so I want to say 77. It might say on it. Is it quite that? I want to say 77, 76 maybe. But it's definitely worth a watch. I mean, John Michael Vincent's really young in it.
I've been talking about After the Fall of New York because like both of those was right back to back. I just don't remember when the comic came in.
Yeah. Gizmo did my first Italian movie last year. It's releasing this year. The Hanging Sun, it's called. Looks amazing on the trailer. I'll check it out, dude.
Nice, man.
I'll have a look. At that one.
Write that down so I don't forget it.
Yeah, I'll pop that back The Hanging Sun.
Well, don't write it down. I'll forget it.
Yeah. So these next three, again, mate, you lovingly hit me up with these because I was struggling to get them over here. I don't think anybody else has released them apart from Severin. And you're getting into the creme de la creme here now with Rays of Atlantis.
I enjoyed the fuck out of that movie.
Yeah, man. Warriors of the Year 2072.
Ochi.
And Diodado's Endgame.
Yep.
Diamato's Endgame. Three.
Diamato.
Yeah, Diamato. Three fucking brilliant films. I would say out of the three, for me, the most enjoyable is Warriors of the Years 2072. Rays of Atlantis takes a little bit of a twist because it's not totally post-apocalyptic. It just drags you into that sort of feeling, but it's not a full-on post-apocalyptic film.
It had a $26 budget.
Oh, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? The dude with a fucking goldfish ball on his head as a fucking helmet. I mean, Christ. You know what I mean? That is a goldfish ball. I don't care what they're saying. Someone found
the
that.
best way to enjoy that movie is sit around with a bunch of your friends and have a more than just a few drinks, and all of you be cracking the fuck up. Be like, what are we watching?
Yeah, because let's be honest, that artwork does not sum that film up in any way, shape, or form. That artwork makes that film look like a fucking AAA blockbuster. You know what I mean?
I think that's what they were going for because they knew they didn't definitely have no AAA fucking blockbuster.
Yeah. Endgame is really entertaining. How can I describe it? Bit of a Running Man ripoff.
Yeah. Okay.
It's probably about the only way you can really describe it. But it's really cool. I mean, these out of the three, there's only two of them got reversibles. Endgame's got a reversible, and Warriors of Years 2072's got a reversible. This one just seems to have a little bit more about it, as far as the Italian stuff go. Plus, it's got Fred Williamson in it, which, dude, anything with Fred Williamson in it, I'm watching. I'm there. Yeah. He did a fuck ton of this kind of stuff.
It was nice to see him come back for a film called VFW with William Sadler, which is a fucking great movie I've been telling everybody about for like the past couple of years since it came out. But VFW is a fucking great flick. The whole cast in that bar is my kind of shit. That's a good film.
And we've got, I'm being distracted at the moment by a very drunk wife that's just come home, who's decided to start taking fucking pictures of me for some reason. I don't know why, but there we go. But no, so between Lucio Fulci, Joe D'Amato, and who did that one? Oh, Diodato.
Atlantis.
Yeah, I mean, they are three Severin pickups that everyone should grab. They are fucking brilliant. Again, it's up there with what Code Red put out with Equalizer 2000, Sisterhood, and Wheels of Fire. It's a shame that Severin couldn't have got those three and made a good run on this kind of stuff, because I think if anybody can do this kind of stuff now, it's Severin. Because nobody else seems to want to touch it. You know what I mean? Nobody else is really going anywhere near it. It's a bit sporadic. It's all over the show. You know what I mean? But what they've done with these three, they look fucking brilliant.
Putting out fucking complete CD soundtracks as a bonus feature in there and shit to include with it.
Yeah. I mean,
they rolled out a fucking whole book, like just dedicated to that genre. As well,
I mean,
just to sweeten
Endgame,
the pot.
Endgame got a CD soundtrack. Warriors got a soundtrack. Raids of Atlantis doesn't, but Robo War gets a soundtrack. If you're into sort of like Terminator, RoboCop ripoffs, that got a soundtrack. The work they do is great. I mean, the quality of the transfer is really good. And if anybody is going to do this kind of stuff, I'd want it to be Severin. I think now, if Severin can pick more stuff up like this, I'd be a happy chappy. You know what I mean? I think they do a sterling fucking job with it. And of course, you got the end game book as well, didn't you?
Yeah, the end of the world book. Yeah,
yeah.
And that stuff must have sold really well, because we all know that book fucking sold out like pretty quickly. Especially compared to the other book like Cannibal Holocaust and shit like that they've done. But it sold out pretty quickly. So hopefully, man, all that stuff sold really good for them. And it's like, hey, instead of worrying about fucking Jess Franco's bullshit, like, can we go back just a little bit and get something else besides anything fucking Franco related? Especially the porn, man. I don't care about fucking Franco's porn, dude. Fuck that.
Every time I tap this book.
I don't want to fucking buy 50 more of them.
Lucio Fulci is my favourite. It's just a great sexist pig that should have lived longer and done so much more sexist pig things. It's
nice. But anybody who has never seen The Devil's Honey, man, go watch that movie. That shit's great. Severin did a great job of that fucking release. So
the last one of the evening, and I've saved my favourite for the last, and this currently has no Blu-ray release. Well, all three films have no Blu-ray release, but I'm being told by good sources that there's a German. All three films are getting a German release at the end of the year, which I can't wait for. I'm not sure what company's turning them out. And I've seen some of the artwork, and the artwork's pretty cool. And I do not know why this particular company has not put these out. It can only be that they've lost the rights to it, which is a shame, because they've got the rights to everything else from DVD to Blu-ray. And it is the Shameless Big Tin edition of the Bronx Warriors trilogy. Fucking brilliant. They call it a trilogy. They don't sort of all three films don't flow into one. You could watch one film and not watch any of the others. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. But they call it the Bronx Warrior trilogy. Shameless put this tin out a few years ago now. This now goes for fucking daft money because it's out of print and it was only a limited run anyway. And I was lucky enough to get one. And it is mint. It's embossed. You can just see it on there, probably.
The thing looks sweet, man.
It's that.
You found that out in the wild too, right?
I found it out in the wild, yeah, for a lot less money than it should have been going for. I found it for £16, and the thing goes for like nearly 40 now.
Nice.
So everybody knows Shameless for the bright yellow cases. Shameless are known for, I think, style over substance because some of the transfers on Blu-ray are the best. They do what they do. I think they've done fucking about 4 or 5 different versions of New York Ripper now, and each time apparently it's supposed to be the better than before, but they just keep churning it out. I think the other one they keep banging out as well is the Beyond. I think they've got another version of the Beyond coming out. This is like the 3rd time that Shameless have put the Beyond out. So
I mean, what's the point in trying when you have like Grindhouse release and they're doing a fucking 4K of that? I mean,
exactly. You know what I mean? So it's a company that I've generally stayed away from. I don't generally buy much of their stuff. Dirk might like them because they have got some sort of Giallo stuff in their collection. They've a good few Giallo titles. And then, other than likes of Cannibal Holocaust, Toolbox Murders, I think they've got a version of that.
The sect or something.
The Sect, is in the lot of weird stuff that looks like softcore porn, because I think that's where initially Shameless came from. I think they came from a softcore porn background. So when you start sort of like researching this stuff, you'll find loads and loads of softcore titles. But for some reason, and it can only be a rights reason, and they must have lost the rights to these. They never put these out on Blu-ray, and I think these would have been the ones that would have sold. So the only way you can get them in the UK is DVD, but the DVDs are really fucking good. So the first one is Bronx Warriors. Again, all the way I can describe it is a rip-off between Escape from New York and Mad Max, basically. I think that's the inspiration of where this shit came from. Just complete Italian rip-off of it. But it's really entertaining. And again, Fred Williamson's in I think he's in all three of these. He's the only recurring actor in them all. Bizarrely, these are numbered to go in with the Blu-rays. So if you collect the Blu-rays, all these Blu-rays have spine numbers, but the DVD have spine numbers that matches with the Blu-ray as well. So I had not a fucking clue what was going on at Shameless. I think he was just like a one-man band that had his own setup. Still has his own setup.
The art looks great.
Yeah,
that shit pops, man.
Yeah, it's good. And I think the yellow cases help a lot, as well as. But these are region free. So again, no need for a region free play, a multi-region play. And again, they've got loads of special features on them. You can sort of see them. I can get the bloody glare off. In the red box, there's tons and tons of special features on them. So there's a 20-minute interview there with Castorelli. There's Shameless fact tracks, original film trailers, alternative credits, collector's gallery from the archive material, remastered anamorphic widescreen presentation. They do look good. For DVD, they do look good. And then the second one in the trilogy, which is probably the least favourite of mine. I didn't show the disc, did I? I'll show the discs. I can get it on there. So they've got like an embossed skull on the disc.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's nice.
Right, cool. The third one, the second one is pretty much the fucking same as the first film, but not as good. And again, the artwork's cool as fuck on them. And again, numbered spines, so they match them with the Blu-rays. And again, loads of special features. But pretty much same as the first film. And what you find with these, it doesn't feel as much apocalyptic or wastelandy as it does that it's been filmed in an industrial estate. You know what I mean? It's just got that industrial feel about both films. But there's like, it's supposed to be, there's a shot in this, the first one, where it's supposed to be fucking like middle of nowhere, wasteland, a bit industrial, and there's a fucking school bus goes past in the background, like loads of school kids on it.
Nice.
And you go and do like, you know what I mean? It's but again, so the second one's not as good as the first one, but it's still entertaining. But for me personally, it's all about the third one, which is Warriors of the Wasteland, which is a true post-apocalyptic film, like desert shit, stupid costumes made out of tires, weird weapons. You know what I mean? It's
fucking
got
tires.
Yeah, it's got
Nice.
fucking everything in it. It's got everything. And like I said, Fred Williamson, he's just all over this one. He's like one of the main dudes in it. The other bits, he's in it, he's out of it, he's in, he's out of it. This, he's in for the whole of the film. And it is fucking genius. If I had to choose a top three, this will be in it. It's a sheer entertainment all the way through. The best bit being is I put it in the promo reel as well. So if you watch the promo reel again, or the start of the stream, and you see him draw a bow back and let it go, and the arrow sticks in the guy's neck, and then his mate sort of looks up at him, but he looks up at a polystyrene head as it fucking explodes everywhere. Fucking genius. Just genius that he's got exploding arrows. Again, they look really good. There's plenty of extras on these for DVD, as well as they have reversible art. I forgot to show you that. So I'll show the artwork. So that was the artwork on Bronx Warrior. And then, if I remember rightly, I think they've got the alternative title.
Okay.
So 1990, the Bronx Warrior. It was some different artwork. Which that artwork was also used on the Vipco release, which came out before these. So Vipco had these before Shameless had them. You know what I mean? And they are good quality. You know what I mean? Everything about what Shameless does, sort of packaging wise, and what you're getting for that aspect, it's just some of the transfers are a little bit of a letdown on the Blu-ray. So I tend to stay away from his stuff. Now, if they'd have put these on the Blu-ray, I'd have been all over it. You know what I mean? But for some reason, never really. The only thing I think of is they've lost the rights to it. So Escape from the Bronx, which is the second one. The alternative title is Bronx Warriors 2. That's the alternative art.
I think I told you that. What was it? It's Blue Underground that actually has them out on Blu-ray in the States, right? They did like a little trilogy pack. I think you can buy them individually, but I think you can also buy it as like a box set. And it comes with all three movies on its own dedicated disc in the 3-disc set.
Yeah. It's a shame that no one's ever done it over there, and I'm probably going to have to look down the German route from when they come out end of the year. And again, Warriors of the Wasteland, the alternative title was the New Barbarians. Not sure why it went under that title.
Wow.
There's Fred Williamson in all his glory.
Dude, what kind of fucking bow is that Fred Williams is fucking holding?
It's class. It's got a fucking sight on it. A fucking sight like that on a bow. You know what I mean? It's but the New Barbarians is what it was known as in the UK for ages when it was on DVD. So I don't know why really it was called the New Barbarians. But Warriors of the Wasteland sounded a lot better. But they are. I mean, Warriors of the Wasteland is in there for my probably top three. But the trilogy in itself is really, really good. Just a real shame that Shameless could never put this out on Blu-ray. That we're probably never likely to see it in the UK now, unless you can somehow get the rights back. But I very much doubted it. This game, he ain't turning much stuff out anymore at all. It's few and far between the releases that he does now. Let's have a look back in the chat. Gizmo Paul, the Devil's Honey is great. I love it. I've never actually seen it. I do know the film, but I've never seen it.
It's a Fulci expression is expressing his full sleaziness,
right?
In some degree, I should say.
Caveman Movies and More. Hello, guys.
Okay,
hey, you. How's it going, dude? You all right? Dirtport. That looks killer. That man. If that's what we're talking about, it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, that sounds great, man.
Pride of place on one of my shelves. It is really, really good. And the three Eagle films as well, Dirk. You will enjoy it.
I bet whenever your eyeballs hit that thing out in the wild, you just saw it sitting on the shelf, and your fucking heart was like just sank. Was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Look at that there, drunk wife in the background there. Guy says, have you seen Archer? Archer.
I believe that's an animation show, if I'm not mistaken. I think Adult Swim. No, FX.
Oh, right. Then I do know what it is. Yeah, he's like a James Bondy kind of character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it. I've never watched it. It's not my kind of thing.
Oh, there you go.
In the same vein as Knight Riders, the George Romero film,
Yep.
Knight Riders. Christ, it's been some years since I've seen that.
Fuck, that's a long movie, man. That bitch is like 3 hours, like 3 hours plus, I think. That bitch is long.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure Arrow Video have got to release that, haven't they?
Yep.
I'm sure they have. Yeah. I don't own a copy. It's been a long while since I've seen that. But we're saying a day in the same vein as Knight Riders. I'd say No Duck. Again, the first two, you're in more down the lines of Mad Max, Escape from New York, that kind of vibe about them. And then the third one, I would say down the lines of Steel Dawn, but probably a little bit better. Enzo Castorelli has some really great films. Recommended High Crime. Yeah, he did a lot of like high crime films, didn't he? Dog,
Yeah,
you've got to not.
Films.
I don't think
I've ever seen that though.
Hold on a minute, pal. Turn around if you want to come up. Okay, so we've got a visitor. So this is Tizzy. She's now come alive because Janine's come back in. She's been asleep all night. So now Janine's come back. Tizzy's awake. Tizzy's a 15-year-old Jack Russell that smells like death and is blind in one eye. So look at me.
She said, go get me something to eat. I don't care about these people. The only thing I want to do is eat, sleep, and shit.
That is all she does do, and she's fucking brilliant at all three. You know what I mean?
Fucking gets overtime in all three departments.
Especially in the shitting department. She's a fucking thoroughbred champion. It's fucking unreal, mate. For such a small dog. I don't know where it comes from. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Complete stream, this. Complete live stream. Mrs. Caveman, what are you eating? Have you brought some goodies home? Have you not brought any takeaway home? Oh, that's a poor shout, that. Been out on the night on the piss, comes home, no takeaway. You walked home as well? My God. How have you managed that? Mrs. Caveman, good evening all. Hello, Mrs. Caveman.
How you doing?
Caveman says, Archer, not seen you need to see.
Talk about Archer.
Yeah. If I've not seen it, I need to see it. Yeah. Tizzy means I have to piss in Norwegian. No, it's so Gizmo, spell it Tissy, as in Tizzy. It's like, sorry, Tizzy. I'm looking at that. Tizzy. She'll get you in a Tizzy, like in a spin, because that's what she does. So that's why we named her Tizzy. Almost the same name as my cat, Dizzy. Cool. That's a great dude. She fucking hates anything. Pigeons, especially. She fucking detests pigeons. Now, the room I'm sat in, the conservatory, has a plastic roof on it. and they are murdered for roosting over the back. And then first thing in the morning, coming landing on the roof, the dog goes fucking nuts. Just fucking crazy because of pigeons. But no, she doesn't like squirrels either, or fucking birds, or anything really.
You know, like whenever you're reading something from somebody you actually talk to, and you know, like their dialect and you know the way they talk. Like whenever I read that, like I can totally hear Dirk's voice coming out of that, just saying "squirrel hating some bitch." Love it.
So for no, dog, you're not getting back up. Go over there, please. So for a collection of films, that's everything that's currently in my collection. Obviously, I'm always seeking out
like
new stuff.
Just 30 fucking movies right there you just held up, man.
Yeah. And again, there's some stuff that's due for coming in. There's a film called Salute of the Jugger. Also was called Blood for Heroes in the US with Rutger Hauer, which is like a post-apocalyptic sports film, which is really, really good.
Oh, shit.
I just remember stumbling on it as a kid in the video shop and renting it and thinking, yeah, this is great. And then could never think what the film was called for years and years and years. And then just out the blue one day, Salute of the Jugger just popped up on DVD. And then I should have bought it when it first came out and never did. Then it disappeared again. And then recently, in the last couple of days, I found a copy floating around on eBay really cheap. And ordered it, but it's still not turned up yet. So I was hoping that would have been here for tonight, but that's not. But Salute of the Jugger.
Again. The Rutger Hauer movie.
Salute of the Jugger, or it's what it was known as in the UK, or in the US, it was called Blood for Heroes.
Okay. Salute to the Jugger.
It is on YouTube. There is a good version of it on YouTube, so you can stream it straight off there.
Nice,
but it is a good watch. And Rutger Hauer's really good in it as well.
You know, if I don't write it down, I'll fucking forget it. Salute to the Jugger, you said?
Yeah. Or like I said, or Blood for Heroes.
I wrote that down too, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, and then obviously we mentioned The Postman. You know what I mean? I really need a copy of that. Wheels of Fire, which is a Code Red release, which I really need to pick those up, but it's sort of like £20 each. It's like £60 for 3 films. It's pricing me out a little bit.
I wouldn't mind getting that Cherry 2000, man, to fucking check that out too, man. You already got me sold on that shit. I'm like, all right, like that sounds like the sleazy kind of shit. Like I want to get fucking diving into.
Yeah, dude, it's a really, really good film. It's also got the guy in it from. Christ, I have got the worst memory ever. I'll come back to it. The guy did like
it'll come to you when you're not thinking of it.
Yeah, the guy did like a lot of trances. What's the guy's name? Was in trances?
Fuck, I'm trying to think, man. It's been a minute since I even seen that movie.
Yeah, the main guy with the blonde hair, it's all slick back. He's in it as well. It's really, really good. It's a good, entertaining film. Equalizer 2000, which we mentioned before, that's a Code Red releasing. Again, it's another one I need. The one that I've not shown, it got a BFI release over here, but I think for you guys over there, it was a Severin's Kids release, and it is When the Wind Blows.
Wind Blows, yeah.
Holy shit! You talk about films like The Road. The Road has got fuck all on this film, and it's an animated cartoon from the mid-80s that's set in Dorset in England, and it is an atomic bomb gets dropped on the UK, and it's about how the government tell people to deal with the aftermath. And this old couple that live in Dorset, he's like putting around in the garden, she's just fucking about in the house, and he's not really prepared anything. He's like done nothing.
He uses a fucking door to protect them from radiation
with a couple of mattresses over the top of it, leant against his wall. And the film from that point in is the slow, painful, agonizing death of both characters and no one else in the film. Just those two people.
That's it.
And it is as beautiful as a film it is fucking soul destroying. You know what I mean? If you think Watership Down was a bad film as a kid, Watership Down is fucking nothing. You know what I mean? This film's unreal. But this was from by the same people and the same gentleman that bought us The Snowman and Father Christmas. You know what I mean? So Raymond Briggs, who did The Snowman and Father Christmas, bought us When the Wind Blows, the worst post-apocalyptic film of all time, but in animation form. I would tell anyone to watch it. You know what I mean? If you're not into animated films, persevere with it, watch it, stream it, buy a copy. I mean, is it expensive on that Severance Kids line now?
Nah, man, you can grab that during a sale for like what is it, like $15? So
yeah,
it's
and
for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Here in the UK, BFI put it out on Blu-ray. There is loads of special features on it, and again, it can be picked up pretty cheap when the sales on with BFI. But I would say to anybody, watch it. You may never ever watch it again. You know what I mean? Because it is soul destroying. It is just to watch this old couple just fade away into nothing, just because the lack of preparation or the lack of knowledge that was what actually was going on, and they're just trying to go day by day, doing his normal thing of trying to tend to his garden, even though he's been like irradiated to fuck.
They're sitting there literally making tea with contaminated water and shit like that. You're just like, this is not going to end well. And it's the style of animation that was used for that movie too. It was, you could tell it was from that period where they were using animation to attract a younger audience, such as kids.
Yeah.
But the fucking story is so grim. Like my kids watched that with me in the living room, and they were like, "Man, this is a fucking sad movie."
Yeah, it's awful, and I think when a lot of the Italian stuff that you watch is like we said, it's all exploitation, it's all B movie stuff. It's I'm now getting notes passed to me asking me, do I want pizza cooking?
Nice.
You could have just asked. You could have said, do I want a pizza cooking? Yes, please. And put a pizza in, yeah? No, look, you can't see it. It's like, yes, you can put a pizza in, yeah. Thank you. Okay, now. I've lost my train of thought. Where was I up to? I'm fucking done. I'm done.
When the wind blows.
When the wind blows, yeah. Yeah, but like I say, the guy Raymond Briggs. He was famous for doing the Snowman. Everyone knows Snowman. Charming little 20-minute film about a snowman that comes to life, followed up by a film about Father Christmas, what he did when it wasn't Christmas time. To one of the most soul-destroying films you'll ever see. It is worth the watch. If none of you have ever watched it, check out When the Wind Blows. It's possibly up on YouTube. I'm not 100% sure. But it is definitely worth a watch. Let's go back to this chat. Where are we? Dizzy is I know exactly who she is. Dizzy is from the redheaded Starship Troopers. Love that movie so much. I love Starship Troopers as well. Gizmo. Starship Troopers is great. Starship Troopers 2 and 3 were absolutely fucking abysmal. But the first one is great. I can watch that film anytime. One of the last masterpieces created in America.
Got a Starship Troopers coming to 4K here. Actually, I think it's about to be released, right? Should be around this time.
Right. Yeah, I would imagine we're going to get one at some point. Dirt laughing at it. Cayman said, spent the last week was right. Okay, spent
In the
last week in
hospital.
hospital. I think that.
Yeah, man. Hope everything's good, man.
Gizmo, Joan Chen is in Blood for Heroes. Yes, I worked with her on a pilot called Wonderland. God, Gizmo, man, who have you not worked with?
I'm telling you, man.
That's fucking great, and she takes a really, really fucking good part in that as well as.
You said Wonderland. I was thinking of the movie, the actual movie Wonderland, where it's the story of John Holmes.
Yeah.
You've probably seen that.
Yeah.
My mind goes in the gutter just straight. Can't help it. Val Kilmer, I think, plays John Holmes in that movie.
Right. Oh, Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer's done some great films.
Yeah, he ain't looking so great no more.
No, he looks really rough, doesn't he? It's a shame for him, really. Yeah. K-Man, haven't been on much lately because I've been in the hospital, doing better now. Good to hear, man.
Good to hear, man.
Gizmo says she's so nice in person. First, I thought she was the production assistant because she offered me a coffee. But yeah, really nice lady.
Very nice.
Cool. Dirk says Cho 2000. Haven't thought for that one in years. Damn. Yeah, Dirk, man, it's a really, really good film. Really good film. David Andrews, he was in Graveyard Shift as well. Melanie Griffiths was also hot back in then.
I agree. Melanie Griffith was, man. She was beautiful.
Yeah. Animated films, I don't watch a lot, but The Wall, Heavy Metal, and AO Flux, show fans of ours. Heavy Metal, mate, is probably one of the best animated films ever done. It's great soundtrack. I could have put Heavy Metal in with this just because of one of the storylines that's in Heavy Metal is complete post-apocalyptic. The whole undertone to Heavy Metal is post-apocalyptic, really. But there's one sort of element in that, one story in that is sheer post-apocalyptic. The release that you got in the US, did you get a double feature? Didn't you get Heavy Metal and Heavy Metal 2000 on the same set?
I can't remember, but I do know. I just saw it at Best Buy too. I think Heavy Metal got like a 4K UHD, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, sure. It's just got a 4K here as well. But I'm almost sure that either the Blu-ray or the 4K got Heavy Metal 2000 put on there as well. Not as good as, but it's still decent. Aeon Flux, I'm not too sure on. I was never a fan of the show. There's some really good animated stuff. A film called Star Chaser: The Legend of Orin is one of my favorite animated films of all time. Which is really, really good. It's complete fucking Star Wars ripoff, but it does a good job. I'll probably get round to doing my top whatever animated films at some point on my channel. It's one thing I've never really done, but I do own a lot of animated films. But Heavy Metal's definitely up there.
Yeah, he said fucking Pink Floyd, The Wall, man. I watch that movie every Father's Day. Every fucking Father's Day. That's one of my favorite movies right there.
Yeah, it's great. It's the same animation crew. So the same animation crew that did Heavy Metal also did the animation for Pink Floyd's The Wall. So it's the same animation team. Cayman says, what are your thoughts on to kill a moving? To kill a moving? I'm not sure. I'm
what it
not
is.
sure it came on. Not sure. To Kill a Moving. Not sure.
Hmm.
Who did the
Oh, Cody
music
knows
for The
this.
Wind Blows?
Roger Waters. Pink
Is that
Floyd.
Pink Floyd? Yeah.
As soon as Dirk brought up Pink Floyd, The Wall, the next thing Cody said was, "Who did the music for?" Because of course he knows it, which is Roger Waters. But he did in fact do all the music for
There
When
you
the
go.
Wind Blows, and you could tell it too because it's got a really heavy Pink Floyd
Yeah.
not a it's very sorrowful, especially as like the story's going and like they're already sick. Like it gets you start feeling it just like on The Wall. I mean, there's a lot of songs when they're like The Thin Ice, like that shit can like the moods can be drastically fucking different, or of course comfortably numb as well. So
Yeah. It's I remember watching that back in the day, sort of like late teens, and that just fucking blowing me away. I'd up to that point, I'd never seen anything like that. It is really, really good. Kevin says,
sorry, man. I think it was
no,
like
go for it.
about The Wall though, man. Is like you'll always hear like the radio stations, or you'll hear like a younger generation talk about that album. And the only thing they ever talk about is fucking, of course, Another Brick in the Wall, which is, everybody knows the famous line, "Who we don't need no education." But man, there's it's fucking 2 full records full of like great songs on that shit that nobody's never really bothered to listen to. It seems like it's like, man, that whole fucking record's great, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a big fan of that. I got like 4 fucking presses of bottles over there of just that record.
Yeah, I've a couple of friends of mine are serious Pink Floyd fans. I can listen to Floyd. I appreciate everything. Some of it's, I would say, most of it's not really to my liking. It's not really what I listen to, but I get it and I understand it. You know what I mean? It's fucking deep and it's meaningful. I mean, it's that good. I mean, have you ever seen the Australian cover band to Pink Floyd who tour? And these fuckers, they're a tribute band to Pink Floyd, and they're from Australia, and they're selling out stadiums. You know what I mean? Full light shows, full laser shows, everything, and they're just called Australian Pink Floyd, and they're just a tribute band basically. But they sell out massive stadiums. It's crazy to think a band like that could do something like that. Caveman, To Kill a Mockingbird, thoughts coming to 4K soon? Absolutely none, mate. I can be perfectly frank with you. I don't care if To Kill a Mockingbird's coming to 4K or not. It's not something I buy. It's not something I look at. It's not something that's on my radar. I mean, if you've just looked at this type of films that we've just talked about, mate, and I'm telling you, Warriors of the Wasteland is one of my favourite films, and To Kill a Mockingbird is definitely not on my radar.
So you took the most classic story in the classic movie ever. And I was like, what do you think about this? And you're over there holding up like Damnation Alley or fucking Cherry 2000. Like, yeah, that was definitely not on Anthony's radar.
No, definitely not.
Whoever comes out with it, hopefully they do a good job to it, though. Because, I mean, everybody fucking, the majority of people love that movie and love that story.
For some reasons, to see Spoon, I think that must be a typo. Animatrix. Yes, I like Animatrix. And again, I could have put Animatrix in here because there's one segment, like heavy metal, that's totally post-apocalyptic vibe about it. You know what I mean? Even again, the whole Matrix thing is post-apocalyptic, but when they're outside of the Matrix. But there's one section deep within that Animatrix story that I could have gone with. There's certain sections of Animatrix that do it for me. There's certain sections that don't. But all in all, it was a good release. You know what I mean? When the whole Matrix franchise came out, to drop a sort of like animated anime kind of thing in there was cool. I'm lost with that. I have no idea what that is.
I'm not sure, man.
Great stream, y'all. Got to prepare for the top 5 stream. Take care. Yeah, Duke. It's currently at 2:30 in the morning here in the UK, and I've got a fucking pizza. I've got a pizza in the oven. So no doubt while I'm eating pizza, I'll be checking your stream out, mate. It's going to be fucking 6 o'clock in the morning before I go to bed now. Cody says, peace, Dirk. Oh, Christ. Gizmo's talking about things that get my juices flowing now. The Dino Riders.
What the fuck?
Dirk, Gizmo, why have you brought that in, man? After 3.5 hours live streaming, you dropped the word Dino Riders. And I could talk about this shit for another 3 fucking hours. But I'm going to call it there now. Johnny, as always, dude, it's a fucking pleasure chatting with you, mate, about this kind of stuff.
You know, man.
It's been good in the chat tonight. There's been a constant stream of people in here tonight. Probably the most we've ever had watching a live stream, mate, which is good. It means it's getting out there. It means people are picking up on it. I have been dropping this shit everywhere that's physically possible. You've been seeing me on Facebook and fucking Instagram and everywhere else. So hopefully we're picking up people, which is good. If there's anything that you guys want us to talk about while we're talking about post-apocalyptic films, leave some comments. And if it's stuff that we've not got that we can grab and we want to talk about, you want to talk about it with us, then we'll certainly do that. Apart from that, Johnny's got reviews coming up soon.
Yeah, even though I'm late as fuck, as always,
I
assure you, it'll be on there tomorrow. It was recorded once. I deleted it because I was just having a fucking hard time doing it by myself. I haven't done a video by myself in fucking forever. Yeah. So it was me sitting here talking to my computer, and I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, man. So, it's still weird. It's still odd. I still find it odd now doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it'll be up there. It'll be up there tomorrow, though. I already did all my homework and all that good stuff, so I'll re-record it and put it up on there. Before we hop out of here, though, but yeah, that's coming tomorrow, and of course, next week we'll fall in the line where I'll do 2 and you do 1, and Saturday's another live stream and all that good stuff. But we got a Facebook user in here and it says pizza nearly done. Nice.
So that is my time to go. So if I'm getting a message that pizza is nearly done, that means it'll be burnt. So
nice. But
because if you're watching us on Facebook, not on YouTube, it just comes up as Facebook user because you're not signed into StreamYard.
So. There you go. Yeah, before we hop out of here, though, I was out, took the kids to the mall today so they could walk around, do a little bit of shopping. I saw this out in the mall, and I had to pick this up for him. This is one of Cody's favorite movies right here, and I know he missed out on the Arrow video release, so I had to pick this one up for him. And I believe this is a newer edition, of course, because they're celebrating the 30th anniversary of it. That is none other than Heathers.
Heathers,
him was a
great film.
We are fucking huge fans of this film right here. And when Joe Bob showed it that one night, we were just fucking like, oh, this is going to be a great night.
Yeah.
So, Cody, I assure you, man, you got you. It says it's a 2-disc steelbook, man, and there's a fucking ton of special features on here. So, I think that's going to get you by, brother. So,
fucking right. Greetings and salutations.
That'll have a nice little spot on your shelf for you, man. So, I'll send that your way, man.
We watched it a couple of weeks back, me and Janine. I've got the Arrow release of it. Still holds up really well. Still a great film. Still really entertaining.
Yeah. They need to make more movies like that today.
Yes.
And I could probably be in a little bit more of the realm of a newer generation style. Every fucking thing you watch now is like these younger kids in high school that look like they're 40 years old. I'm not buying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it sucks shit. I don't want to see that. Watch a movie like that, though, that's different.
Yeah, it works really well. It does work really well. And like I say, it has aged really well. It still feels as fresh now as when it first came out. It still really works.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to see, especially like I don't really care for him that much, but Kristen Slater, it's actually kind of nice to see him kind of like go off his rocker a little bit in that movie because it's almost believable. It's like, holy fuck, man, like this kid's gonna blow up this fucking school.
Yeah, it goes really weird at one point, like father-son relationship sort of like spins on its head, and he's more like the parental parent that his father is. And then when you realise what his father's been doing for a living, you know what I mean, his son's just learned off the back of him to be a psychopathic nut job.
just
You know what I
fucking
mean?
breeding him for like the perfect fucking catastrophe.
Yeah,
I picked up a few other things while I was out there. Like I said, I went to Best Buy and took the kids around a few places. I finally bought this on physical. You know, I haven't even seen it yet. I'm finally going to watch it at some fucking point. That's of course Black Friday.
Black Friday. Yeah, I've never seen that yet. Never seen it.
It from everybody I pretty much talked to that watched this whenever it first came out. I think that was either last year's Black Friday when it came out. I can't even remember at this point, but not many people were big fans of that. But I'm going to give it a whirl though. And Best Buy's exclusive Steelbook. I think this just rolled out, so I had to grab this. I love the hell out of this movie. But that's 310 to Yuma.
Again, a film I've never seen. I know the film. I've never seen it.
That's a solid movie. I know everybody's going to be like, well, I prefer the original compared to that fucking remake that's got, you know, Hollywood actors in it and all that shit, these A-listers. But I dug the hell out of it, man. It was a pretty fun time. But I had to pick up some magazines too, man. You know, I'm a sucker for that stuff. But
Cool.
There's a new issue of Shock Cinema right there. They actually have Terror Visions actually in this fucking magazine, so that was a no-brainer. Cool. I had to buy it. And the anniversary Halloween edition for Rue Morgue, of course.
Nice.
Had to pick that up, man. Plus, I think they go in depth pretty good about Terrifier 2. That's about to come out. I know Dirk's a huge fan of Terrifier, so got a good scoop of that in there. So, yeah,
man.
I mean,
Terrifier 2. Yeah, Terrifier 2, the lads over at A&B Horror Movies. On the latest video, they were talking about the whole Terrifier stuff. Terrifier 2 coming out. They were anticipating it, looking forward to it.
Here's the last one I got in today. This is from the post office. Whoever I bought this from on eBay is definitely buys Vinegar Syndrome shit too, because he sent it to me in the Vinegar Syndrome box. So
cool.
But you know, I've already bought the 4Ks of this a couple times, and I had to grab this. As Steelbooks it was going for stupid money, but then those 4Ks rolled out, and I got this for fucking absolutely nothing. But that is the Synop Steelbook right there of Tenebrae, and that actually has the fucking CD soundtrack in it too. So
nice.
Dude, this thing was going for like fucking $60-$70 at one point. Now I got this thing for like fucking like bargain bin price basically. So yeah, 3-disc set, booklet, all that good stuff's in it, and the cards on the back of it for the spec.
Nice.
So it's a win-win right there, man, for the collection. You know what I mean, man? I stick more traditionally to, like, even though I pick up a lot of new shit, I still scrounge constantly on eBay for those window box sets from Arrow Video, the old edition sets, all that shit, man. Like I said, man, the other week getting that in, dude, that was a holy grail piece for me right there. I was like, holy fuck, I finally got it on my shelf. Oh, man, just like those Steelbooks you sent me, man. Fucking City of the Living Dead. Fuck, man, that was impossible for me to come by. Zombie Flesh Eaters. I mean, shit, that's like the best artwork out of all of them Steelbooks, in my opinion.
It's amazing. The Beyond is the other one. The Beyond, those Arrow Steelbooks in the UK at the moment, they're relatively cheap, and I don't know why. After sale market on them seems to have dropped. No one seems that interested in them. But apart from the Beyond, for some reason, the Beyond Steelbook just stays really high priced. I've seen it anywhere from 40 to 65. I've seen it used. I've seen it still in wrapping. I've seen it going for all kinds of money. The other stuff I've got, I've had for really, really reasonable prices. But for some reason, the Beyond can never seem to get it cheap. I don't know why. And the artwork's mega on that as well. The artwork on the Beyond is really good. You know
I'm telling you, man, like as bad as I hate to admit it, man, but I know whenever it comes to like packaging and shit like that, especially for physical media collectors, we can all fall in that fucking game of being suckers for that shit. But I'm one of those guys, man. I've always, as long as the Steelbooks had really good artwork on them, I've always been a fan of that style of packaging. So
yeah,
to me, man, it's like, especially not many people are big fans of those like the Best Buy exclusive Steelbooks. But man, if it's like a film like I really like and that shit's coming to 4K for the first time and it's actually a Steelbook, I'm like, fuck yeah. So that's just one of those things. But yeah, that Arrow Video was in its prime, man, putting out those Steelbooks. I wish I had fucking every single one of them, man. Every one of them.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's a thing that I constantly keep my eye open for you to see what's popping up. And the Beyond being the big one that I'm always looking for you. But for some reason, just I can never let on for a cheap copy of it.
If I had to guess, I would have assumed just automatically that zombie flesh eaters was going to be just as impossible for you to find and more expensive than the Beyond. If I had to guess, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, I found it like that off a guy who was a steelbook collector, so his shit was tip top, pristine. He even sent me them in plastic slips. So everything was mint, J-carded, everything. And I was picking them up off him for next to nothing. I think zombie flesh eaters, did I give him 16 quid for it or £18? Something like
That's
that.
crazy.
Next to nothing. City of the Living Dead, I think I gave him £12 for that one. They were for nothing.
Great fucking prices, man. I'm telling you, those are like highlights on. You know me, I am with Arrow video shit, man. From that time that I missed out on it because I got to the game too late. So it's just like for anybody who's going back to try to, who's getting into physical media, collecting it from a certain line. You're like, fuck, I done missed like the best years of that company, and now like, yeah, they're putting out great stuff, but it's like, I'm a little bit more prone to that shit back there because they had this on it and it looked this way. That's how I am with Arrow video, man. Their shit's just. They had if I'd have known about that shit when they started, like especially like during the DVD era, fuck man, I'd need a room bigger than this just to hold all their shit in because I'd probably have every bit of it. Well, it's hard to find it.
Today, for one of our up and coming streams later on down the line, when we choose a different theme, I have found a DVD today that was one of the first DVDs that Arrow Films ever put out. From 2003.
Oh, was this during the Aerodrome years or Arrow Video?
Arrow Video. Well, at the time they were calling themselves Arrow Film.
Okay.
But they still got the same web address now. But back in the day they were calling themselves Arrow Film, and the actual logo, the arrow, the word arrow was written so it looked like an arrow, and then the word film looked like it was feathers on the arrow. The set was from 2003, this DVD release. And it's going to be used in one of our up-and-coming films. I've been looking for it for a while.
Fuck, man, you better tell me what this is. You can't just do that to me, man. I'm saying, what's the first fucking thing that they...
I'll have to tell you off stream. If I tell you on stream, then we're folks. People will know what the next theme is. But it's been a thing of mine trying to find this for a while, and then lo and behold, bit of shopping this morning while I was out, and boom, I found a copy. Just there in a second-hand shop. I had to pay a little bit for it. It wasn't cheap, but it's been what I've been looking at for a while.
Nice, man. Nice. And I'm just trying to think, man, like, especially for your taste, I'm like, one of their first ones, but it's 2003, so I'm like, okay, he fucking found Savage Streets on fucking DVD.
Oh, I wish. I really wish it was Savage Streets. That Savage Streets DVD is going for 45 quid over here now, second hand.
And I think you've already got the Red Scorpion window Blu-ray window box, but that wasn't 2003 though.
I don't own a copy of Savage Streets at all.
Okay.
Like I said, the only edition that Arrow ever put out was that window DVD edition, and it just goes for ludicrous money for a DVD. And I ain't paying it.
Yeah, I know
as much as I like the film's a fucking banger. But I ain't paying that kind of money for a second-hand DVD.
I don't blame you, man. Some of that shit, just the prices are too outrageous for some of that shit, man. Where you're just like, man, I'll get it and I'll be happy that I got it. But every time I look at it, I'm like, fuck, man, I got robbed.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I have a few titles on DVD that I've paid considerably through the fucking nose for, just because it was a big nostalgia thing, and I wanted them, and it was like hard as shit to get hold of. Savage Streets, surely that's going to get a fucking release by somebody in the UK again. You know what I mean? It's got to.
Gotcha, man. Yeah, Code Red put it out with like a slipcover. Well, they originally put it out, and then they reissued it again with a slipcover, and then who knows whatever happened with all that. Especially with Code Red, who knows whatever the fuck's going on with Code Red at any given time. Especially with their license shit, it seems like they'll have something, and then all of a sudden it's gone. You don't get no heads up on it, no nothing. So that's how it goes, man. But They got some good shit though, man. Like you said, fucking they got a couple of good ones right there. You was talking
Yeah,
about, man. But
yeah. Code Red do a lot of good stuff, and it tends to be multi-region. When you look at it, it tends to be region free, which is always a good thing. But like I said, picking them up over here if you can find them. Code Red titles normally about £20 each, which is he's just getting out my price bracket for a standard release Blu-ray. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, there usually ain't nothing fancy about a Code Red release anyway.
no,
I mean, you're not getting some limited edition set, that's for sure. So they have a few
no.
that has slipcovers on them, but I don't think I've ever seen a Code Red fucking steelbook or anything like that. So I think they keep it pretty basic over there, which is fine
Yeah,
as long as the transfer shit looks good. We got
yeah,
some
yeah.
special.
It's
That's the most
yeah.
important part. But
That's it. Yeah, I would imagine that the cheaper than £20 in the US. You know what I mean? But right, pal, we are 2:45. I know there is another stream starting in 15 minutes.
oh shit, it is almost 10.
Over on Pop's Movie Dungeon with Dr. Ordinary and Brad and Dirk and Brian Goes Blue. So we won't step on those guys' toes. We'll get off here now while them guys start. I can go and eat some burnt pizza, and you guys can leave some comments down below. Please please subscribe to both channels, and you'll be getting more content off me and Johnny this coming week. Next week's Saturday Night live stream, we'll be having a guest. So tune in for that one. You'll see some more shit coming from me and Johnny up and coming week. Facebook, Instagram, socials on YouTube. And I'll post a few snippets of other things coming up on. But thank you everybody that's been in the chat, that's been watching. It's been good steady numbers all night. It's probably the best that we've done up to now, which is fantastic. It means this shit's getting out there. Thank you all for watching. Again, Johnny, thanks for this, dude. It's always a pleasure talking with you, mate.
Fucking fun, dude.
It is, mate. It is fun. And we will see you all soon. See you later, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.